GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
These are my race treads for when the road ends.
These are my race treads for shredding the slopes.
These are my race treads for setting the hook.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
Link ECU, let's get it!
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Blink Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine, and then we're going to add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000-wheel 2J, Link ECU all day.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Need a little help? We got help. Need some advice? We got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. BC Forged Wheels, custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged, proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2025.
Welcome to New Jersey. This is the Gauntlet. The Crazy Eight is about to go down. Ryan Turk, he wants this. Right out of the gate, look at him pulling that front left wheel up. Frederick Osbo bathing in the smoke.
Everything felt awesome.
Forsberg initiates transit. Oh, Robbins goes hard into him, but Forsberg stays in it. Shanahan and Freddie, they bang doors, they bang back wheel. Whoa, buddy. Amanda Sorenson's doing it on her own. He's gonna try to bang the door of the three-time champ. Forsberg giving chase. A little fire.
We're giving it our best, and yeah, delighted to be in the finals.
Finals are here. Send it! Your winner here at E-Town is James Dean. Your points leader gets the win. Here we go. We are about to introduce you to our top 16 drivers here at round 2 of the Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. This is the Gauntlet. This is our halfway point of the season. This being round 2. Tomorrow is round 4 of the Pro Championship. These are aspiring drivers that want to jump up. Again, the AAA and the talented drivers, it's spec class. So you got Link Engine Management, they're all running that. They're all running the same size GT radial tire. You know, the confines here, the driving is obviously unprecedented. So really excited to see who we are about to see out here on track. As you can see, our drivers, our umbrella folk, as well as our, you know, look at the family affair out here. Again, look at that, the posture there with his wife and his kid and all that. But first, if you could please stand. All right, let's introduce you to our drivers. Our top 16. We start with the first car parked. This gentleman knows a lot about this track. He competes in the Gambler, Mr. Never Settle, multiple ProSpec championships. Boom, look at that, shirt on shirt. I mean, literally, never settle on person, on his son, on his wife. Make some noise. It's Dimitri Brutzky. Winner at round 1 of the PROSPEC Championship. His eyes are on the prize, and make some noise for Mr. Corey Taska. What's pink, baby blue, and fun all over? That is Cody Buchanan.
Hi.
Love the simple HI. Hello and hi. Say hello. Driving the E36. This man is definitely grounded because he is rooted. He is Trevor Roots.
Oh my.
It's not 7, it's not 8, it's not even 9. It is 10 out of 10. It is Nate Chen. Chen out of Chen. Put your hands together, make some noise, maybe even salute, because the commander is here. Behind the wheel of his Corvette, it is Josh Stewart. All-American cab over 97 NASCAR on the door. He is carbureted with the air cleaner sticking out the hood. Make some noise for Double J, Jerry Johnson. He's not a manager. He's not even a co-founder, but he is the boss. It is Mr. Yeet Fleet, Alan Boss. We're not talking centimeters, we're not talking inches, we're not talking kilometers even. It is Dustin Miles. Up next, making her debut and her first Formula Drift Top 16. You can't miss the pink and the high-vis yellow Fitment Industries BMW. It is Colette Davis. Let's see what kind of sorcery we got with this next weapon of mass destruction. And another Fitment Industries vehicle, the S chassis, it is Colin Zalinski. It's his home track. He's got his wife, he's got his son, and he's got his vehicle. The steel at Race Treads, Nissan Z. It is Alex Jagger. Coming from down south in Naples, Florida, this gentleman, tried and true, all mean and black. He is ready to tear it up. Make some noise. It is Cole Richards. You gotta love this one. I know my co-host up here is a big Mustang guy. Look at this. Oh man, the mullet says it all. The glasses, the shades, the classic race suit. Make some noise. Shake them out for Chris Leonard. Up next, coming to us originally from Hollister, California, now in OK, Oklahoma. It is Nissan 350Z. Make some noise for him and his lovely wife, Nick Jimenez. Last but definitely not least, the only female here, or excuse me, one of two females, I'm sorry, Colette Davis, and now join us once again. She made history. She got second place last year. Can she better? Can she get in the box? Once again, the Rockstar Energy Drink U.S. Air Force pilot, it is Amanda Sorenson. There are your top 16 pilots ready to do battle here on the figure 8. I'm Jared Deanna. Joining me here in the booth once again, Mr. Matt Sopa down on the ground, Lorette Nickel. What a great 32 we saw earlier. Again, seating brackets yesterday, what seems like, you know, eons ago, just given the weather, and we had a hefty halftime break. It was 3 hours. So talking to everybody about the storm, the weather, what they endured. Everybody's got a story and encountering down in the paddock. It was sensational, scary. Glad everybody's okay for the most part.
Right.
Some rental cars, some damage for sure. It's just stuff. But regardless, some awesome battles here. Look at that, Johnson and bowing down. You gotta love this. He did the same thing to Joey Logano. Like, gives respect where respect is due. That is a very unique race suit. I don't know if is he gonna skydive in that thing? Like,
it's like one of those squirrel suits.
Yeah, I like it, dude. He's got a squirrel suit.
The wings gonna deploy.
All right, double J, double thumbs up. There we go. Your thoughts on 32 now going into 16?
Oh man, ever since seeding, now 32, the battles have just been getting whittled down and getting more and more intense, and we can really see the talent that these drivers are showing. It hasn't been disappointing at all. So I'm super excited. We got such a good lineup with the 16. I cannot wait until we see these guys
this is
do.
Alaska and Kaufman earlier. It's Alaska very dominant. Kaufman at Tax Garage FC RX-7. Oh, that was a bummer. We saw Cameron Sorenson get pushed back. What was it? The rear end.
The quick change input shaft probably
just rounded out
left
the
shaft.
Yeah. Ugh, such a bummer. Amanda eventually went on to win there as Cameron saying, "Go get him, sis." So as Amanda will be going against Taska, who's our most recent winner. That gentleman, man, really excited for him. That was it Ruth?
Yes.
Yeah,
Ruth put up a good fight against our
really
champion.
Good fight.
You know, and then Leonard coming out of the woodwork here with that Mustang, just leaving Jack Davis, a heavy hitter, in the dust of that little pony. Just throwing all the angle. I think that was probably one of the most fierce angles we've seen, like as far as that goes. You know,
very unlike him as well.
Yeah.
And then the fuel lab, that's Ferris Q there, and the Corvette.
Buchanan doing his thing. You know, he's aggressive, but he's learning his temper.
Yep.
So
some talented drivers. Excited to see what they can do here. Again, the ProSpec Championship, this being round 2. I'm expecting some great driving here. Colette, her mom, normally out there selling merch. This is her time. She actually got to watch her daughter run, and this is her first time in 16. So a lot of momentum, a lot of excitement for Colette Davis. You know, always a fan of the high vis. So 2 females here in the top 16. Excited to see what they do. A lot of, again, momentum coming out of 32 now into 16. Some cool special guests. Again, Joey Logano joined us yesterday. Dion Dockey from the Buffalo Bills, left tackle there, and man, just good energy here overall. Halftime break, an autograph signing earlier. Saw all the drivers. That was a lot of fun there, as everybody's making it back. But our first battle will be Corey Taska and Amanda Sorenson. With Amanda having a bye run, she didn't have a battle earlier. Yeah. How does that play a role for Amanda?
Well, you know, we get the seeding. They get a little more like practice laps, if you will. And now Corey's got the nerves out. His dad actually talked to him right during the break. He's like, he just about threw up before his top 30. He's like, that's kind of like his thing. Like that old F1 driver, I can't remember, from the 70s.
James Hunt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who would throw up before every race. It kind of reminded me of that. But he's like,
actually, I puke right before we go live.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why you think I was in the bathroom. I'm joking. I do not. I send it before I send it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nice to know that we all have nerves.
So. Yeah, no, and it's great to see. It's great to see. You know, it's like Pastrana says, if you're not scared, you know, is it worth doing? You know, that's like a, you know, kind of. He didn't say that exactly, but that's kind of, you got to respect it. You got to respect what you're doing, how you're doing, all that. Speaking of what they're doing, respect these gentlemen. It is a thankless job, and you know, I always say there's only one person that's a fan of them at the end of every event, the judges.
The winner.
Yeah, Vernon Von Veld. We have Brian Egger and Reese Marin join us here in the booth, and they are scrutinizing the runs, analyzing the runs. Dude, beautiful weather. Sometimes when we have those breaks, and, you know, Atlanta, I know I've been down, like, on the bottom section. You're like, whew, when are we drifting again? Because it's hot. And that 3 hours, I felt like we could have chilled, like, longer. It was really pleasant, very nice. Yeah. Great to see some fans. Taking a look at this, keys to victory, open the door. Brought to you by BC Racing.
Yeah, the judges we want to see them back on the throttle immediately after initiation, especially getting into outer zone 2. That's been a big one. The judges have been driving that point, and consistently filling all the zones and not just coming in and out of them. Make sure the car is smooth and decel after the transition. Make that thing snap and slow down with angle, not before. So it doesn't look as good when you're slowing down and then you decide to rotate the car. It's just not pretty.
Yeah, the whole momentum idea, there's more that come into play here than some of the other tracks because of, again, that transition going in and momentum as opposed to a decel. Some of the verbiage we've modified just to complement what the actual car is doing.
Sure.
We'll get into that as kind of the subject breaches itself. So here we go, Corey Taska. As you say, his dad talked to him. He's nervous, but good nervous energy. Amanda Sorenson, excited to see what she can do. Rockstar Energy Drink pilot. Hey, did you have one of those refrescos down there?
I had 2. Actually,
did you?
I gave the fridge one. So I had
makes
another
sense.
one.
Yeah, Michael down there. He needs to stay hydrated. Get that energy.
It's good.
The freeze-dried mango topper.
Oh, I've only had the tropical one. So.
Okay, well, I got the mango on top. I thought it was marshmallows.
Me too, because I saw Chris snap at him.
Freeze-dried mango.
Are those marshmallows?
Yeah, I talked to Freddie, and I told him I was supposed to be in the commercial. The phone never rang. How we doing out there? Yeah, that's right. Look at that. Yeah, that's you up on the camera. You, brother. Look at this guy.
Smile, you're on TV.
Yep. This young man here in the green shirt. Hurry, get the photo out, Dad. Hurry, take the photo. That's you. It's so meta. Oh my gosh, we're looking right, but you're supposed to be looking left. You know, this guy enjoying the ice cream. Oh, let's zoom in on homeboy eating the ice cream. Let's get weird on this one. Ready? Yeah. Chocolate. Harry, let me get a lick, bro. Come on, man. Yeah. All right. Yeah. only FD is what we're looking at right now here. All right. Keep it creepy, son. All right, let's get ready. We are going to the double B, the burnout box, the Bob. Talking about burnouts over Baghdad. And you can see young Shanahan cheering on his lady. Mr. Connor Shanahan and Amanda Sorenson and Item, they're traveling all over, and Amanda just announcing she'll be competing in Drift Masters.
That's right.
Over in Europe, so congratulations to her. That should be really fun, and you know, obviously kind of a complimentary series to us. We're not in Europe, they're not in the States, so it's cool to see, you know, even co-host with Pro, Jacob over there announcing that, so it's cool to see the different drivers kind of going over there. James Dean competing in the Ford Mustang, and, you know, kind of interchangeable. It's cool to see that, so excited to see.
Crossover with the judge.
Crossover the judges. Vernon, you're judging me right now, so I feel like I'm.
You can see it out of the back of his head.
I told Vernon, I didn't agree with your call in Atlanta, going the third one more time, but it's okay. We fought. I have a new tattoo. It says "I love Vernon," so it's cool. We have made up in a weird way, but he was right and I was wrong. I have a Circle of Drift podcast coming on, and he's like, "What calls?" I was like, "Vernon, I got to confess. I got to tell you, I didn't agree with your call." He says, "It's okay. You're ugly," and that's and we dropped it at that. It was good.
Fair. Shook hands and
All right, let's take a look at our BC Racing clip tip. We're all smiling, having fun up here, having some Rockstar Energy drink. But let's take a look at our BC Racing clip tip.
What's going on, everyone? Coming at you here from Formula Drift 2025 in New Jersey. My name is Reese Barron. I'm one of the judges for this weekend, along with Brian Egger and Vernon. We're standing out here in front of outside zone 1, and the reason I'm doing that is because I really do feel like one of the tips or the tricks to this layout is to set yourself up correctly, initiating and getting into outside zone 1 right. Set yourself up on the right line, make sure you have good rhythm, come out of outside zone 1, and then set yourself up for the transfer into outside zone 2. I feel like if you don't set yourself up correctly into outside zone 1, you're really just going to be playing catch up. So I really feel like the best thing you can do and to have the best foot forward, make sure you have outside zone 1 dialed so the rest of the track can be set up correctly and you can have some good results. This has been a BC Racing clip tip.
Reese with a close-up. Old
so handsome.
El Gato over here.
El Guapo.
El Guapo. All right, zone 1. I don't think it's too big of a point of contention. I would say that outside zone 2 and then outside zone 3 has played a major role in this as well. But I would say more than anything, it's don't step off the track because the dirt is unforgiving. The mud, you know, it's DB to tires, it's flipped cars, all of it. If you drop down off where the rubber meets the road, you're going to get bit.
Yeah, and some of those places in outer zone 2 drop probably a good 12, 18 inches when you and you see how high that lifts the left front tire. It's just insane.
Yep. So, again, keep where the rubber meets the road, flirt with that. And here we go, our first battle of our top 16 here at E-Town. English Town, Old Bridge, Raceway Park is a whole long name, but we just simply call it E-Town. Taska will lead. Amanda Sorenson giving chase. Again, Taska, winner at round 1. Amanda knows this track. She's confident at this track, and here she is going against right now, our points leader, will that change? Amanda getting a lot of seat time. I know they did something with the United States Air Force at a base. Met a gentleman earlier, 21 years with the Air Force. He's out there. He's working, started on I think it was F-14s or F-15s, and then moved his way up to Cs. And like he was out there being a judge. It's pretty cool. They had a tire changing on a C-17, I think it was. It's pretty cool. So again, all that being said is Amanda, a lot of seat time, having a lot of fun behind the wheel, many different cars. So we are ready to send it. Our first battle, top 16. Crowd awaits. Once the lights extinguish, we are good to go. There is Yellow Speed Racing, BMW E36, Air Force BMW. Let's see how they handle that initiation into outside zone one. Taska brings it in, drops that tire, set, rubber meets the road, and gets a little loose into that initiation. Talked about a point of contention. That's not a big deal, but Taska makes it part of the problem. Look how nicely lined the course is. You can really see where those outside and that front clip zone is at. Now crossing the finish line, Taska, Amanda right there in tow. And like I said, Taska dropping that tire, that really disrupts the flow. And you got to think, if you're chasing down, like, whoa, where are you going?
Yeah, not only I think the clip got it, so he actually had 2 tires off there. It's going to be a pretty big deficit. Amanda playing cool in this position. I really like how she did. She reeled it in. Taska getting back to that smooth run that we know of him, and Amanda having kind of a mistake in the chase. I don't know if she had a little too much left foot brake there, but does a great job here mimicking the transition. Taska actually ended up coming out of that zone a little bit there in the middle. Could have been a little deeper. Could be some nerves still boiling in his stomach. Who knows? But Amanda doing a really good job of kind of adapting to the situation. Not exactly the lead run we were looking for from Corey, but he did he did check a lot of the boxes, and but he does have that deficit with the 2 wheels off in outer zone 1. So, well, Amanda could definitely pounce on this opportunity in her lead to kind of show us what a textbook lead run should be.
Yeah, I think that's the big. The door is open. You know, Corey didn't just stomp on it, didn't really just nail it and say, oh man, that's going to be hard act to follow. Corey, he left the door open.
Yep.
So I think Amanda needs to really reap the benefits here. And our points leader, Corey Taska, if Amanda puts down a heat of a run, Corey's really got to step it up as far as a chase run, that initiation. That Davis she talked about, really nailing that. Got a clean start. Here we go. Amanda Sorenson, United States Air Force BMW, initiates in that first outside zone. She brings in nice and tight. Taska right there in the pocket transition. Kind of a slow transition there from Amanda. Rolled into it. Now that second outside zone puts it right in the perfect place. Good angle. Taska wavering in that chase position, kind of bounces forward and back. Now to that last outside zone. There goes Amanda using all of it, filling it up very, very well by Amanda Sorenson. Taska, like I said, bouncing back and forth. So you can even see
she's happy with it.
She's stoked. That was a really strong, dominant lead run.
As she should be. A little scanty flick there, going in outer zone 1. No wheels off here in the Sorenson campus. Taska does a decent job of mimicking, but Amanda setting that car up for success in outer zone 2 here. As Taska kind of closes the door, hangs back a little bit. She surges forward through that inner clip and then makes a nice smooth transition. Corey trying to kind of sneak in the pocket there, but falls a little bit behind there in outer zone 3 as well. Great job by Amanda. Let's take another look as that BMW of Amanda Sorenson flies through outer zone 1. You can kind of see the transition. Corey does time it a little bit late, so he pulls a little angle out of it to get that proximity, but just doesn't have the grip or speed to kind of reel Amanda in and put it on the door like you want to. As they get into outer zone 3, Amanda just see it pouring on the angle, throttle. Great job in the Sorenson. So lead for lead, I would say she has an advantage there, but maybe the judges saw something else, but Corey has that deficit in his lead run with the 2 wheels off in outer zone 1. That's going to be the big crux of his situation here.
You know, Amanda's just busy with a lot of outside stuff. How much does that affect her? You know, or is that kind of fuel for the fire? Doing all the activations, doing it. You know, you have these commitments, you got to do that. How much does that impede on competition? Right now, it's saying not much, because I think that was a really good lead run. And she adapted well in the chase. Sorry.
And Corey had a kind of a goofy handbrake pull there in the transition. He is allowed to do that before that outer zone 2, so it really gave Amanda a chance to catch up, because she was really far behind. We were talking about the clip tips just a bit ago with Reese, and that could have been disastrous in her chase run. And luckily, Corey made that mistake, and she was able to close the door and capitalize on it.
All right, they wait in the wings. We see our side-by-side. And Talaska there. Loving the white seats. I really like them. Slide him left for Corey Talaska, right for Amanda Sorenson. Gets the victory. Amanda unanimously, and couldn't agree more with that. You know, just a lot of eyeballs on her. Reese, if we could talk to you, throw on your headset. I thought, you know, my take was that Amanda got thrown off by Corey's initiation. That was really hard to follow. I thought she did a decent job. Reese, you're on camera, but if you could elaborate, please.
Yeah, I mean, Amanda Sorenson just had an exponentially better lead run. We definitely see that Talaska going into outside zone 1, he dropped 2 tires off. It definitely messed up Amanda going into the transition, going into OZ2. But you saw that she did a really good job of adapting, getting back into the pocket right where she needed to be, and adapting to the lead every way through. So you can see here, Amanda does a really good job in the lead here. She does a really good job of getting into the zone, fulfills all the way, good transition all through, lines herself really good with outside zone 2. On throttle, stays right inside of the box. Talaska's trying to keep in track, but you can see Amanda's just doing a really good job of doing it. She's a little on the inside of the inner clip there, but outside of that, I don't really see anything else that's really bad. Going into outside 3, she's doing a really good job there, so she did an amazing job. Amanda Sorenson gets the win. She
rightfully earned that. That wasn't just, you know, and Corey did a decent job, but from jump, those 2 wheels off.
Yeah.
That threw him off.
Huge effort. Yeah, she ripped. She was a ripper.
Yeah, and again, Talaska, good effort so far, but unfortunately just that little mistake that really hampered his, put a thorn in his side. So this should be fun. Zalinski talking to Spotter, a lot of talent. Zalinski's got good energy. Just wants to let in, you know, here's 2 drivers that are letting their, you know, Nate comes out, he, you know, when he came into Formula Drift, kind of really wanted to have this really dialed thing and look at Paul. I think he needs to have more fun, and I think he's having fun right now. He's in a sweet spot. So is Zalinski. So here's 2 drivers that really take it seriously, but are letting their driving do the talking. That's what I was trying to get at here. Yeah. And Zalinski in that lead run, that Fitment Industries S chassis, Nate Chen in that 86. Zalinski, look at that, settled, good. Chen, good proximity. You can see him like chomping at the bit, trying to lunge forward, but I think if he just keeps it smoother, it could work out well. Good battle right there. It wasn't too aggressive by Nate Chen in the chase. I think Zalinski gave him a good opportunity, a platform to chase him. Nothing like over the top. No extra credit staying after class, but I think overall tidy.
And what you can't see here is you might be able to see that front wheel wavering, but I don't know what was going on, but it kind of pulled him back and it made him go shallow. But Chen does a good job in that transition and closing the door here, sacrificing just a whisper of a wish of angle, but does a good job of staying in that pocket, showing his temperament that, you know, he's been here before, does a good job in the timing of that transition there. And Zalinski, he's got a tire or 2 in that 3rd zone and does a good job filling it all, and Chen right there with him the whole way.
And you were talking about the wavering of the wheel. Was that Zalinski or
yeah, Zalinski. You can see it more on the lead wheel. The thing was just almost doing like a death marble type thing, and you could see even in his wheel, he wasn't quite
just settled.
Yeah.
Find that sweet spot. Set it, forget it. As Chen now initiates, goes into the outside zone, uses all of it. Another little correction there, just fed the wheel a little bit. Massive angle. Look at that. We're looking right at the trans pointing at us. Deep into that second outside zone. That allows Zalinski to get in that pocket. And you can even see how dramatic that angle is, not mimicking it. I want to get that overhead, that truth serum. But look at Chen digging in. I mean, the car, he's not off track, but that thing's hitting 3-wheel motion. Really well done by Nate Chen. Like I said, it seems like he's having fun. He's just hitting his stride.
Yeah, I really like seeing that when the cars just snap in and settle fast and they're on the throttle. It really shows you're trusting your machine and you're driving, that you have that side fight. You look at that, filling the zone immediately, coming out. I mean, we're picking at straws here as far as early coming out of that outer zone 1, but Zalinski doing a fairly good job at trying to match that angle, but that thing's a rocket ship even at that angle, keeping good momentum. And kind of cutting the corner there just a little bit. Could have done a little better job timing that transition, a little snappier. Could have gotten that pocket a little sooner and been a little more approximate in that 3rd zone following Chen. Taking another look here as we follow Justin Smash on the track. And Zalinski always in the picture here. I think there's just some tiny little wavering here. Nothing really big mistakes as far as, I mean, I'm probably going to get a side-by-side if I could predict the future. But great job on both of these drivers. And I think Chen does have a little bit of more aggressive lead run, which kind of gives him the edge in my opinion.
No. That it is it's tube meat. It's just tube meat. All right, so as we are waiting for the verdict, and we are going to get a side-by-side here, taking a look at this. The fridge just cool as a cucumber. He might have a bang door, but you know what? He delivers.
He sure did.
You know, he files that warranty, no problem.
Let's
Take
see
a look
how
at here.
you can see the difference in how Nate Chen, they both had a similar. Zalinski, we're splitting hairs here. Didn't completely feel that zone, but Chen doing a great job here, throwing on more angle than Zalinski in that outer zone too. Both kind of had the same attack in the chase position, the same proximity to that clip, but here was where Chen kind of shines in his chase. He does close the door a little bit better and had in his chase position, but also had more angle in that lead position in that third zone over Zalinski.
There's our judges, Reese, Brian Eggert, Vernon. This is why I think when we get to 16 in ProSpec, this is where we find the sweet spot.
You really got to be judgy.
Yeah, real judgy. Nate Chen gets the win. Great effort by Zalinski. Nate Chen just had that refinement of his runs. So well done. It just looked a little tidier. Great effort by Zalinski, but Chen was just that little tolerance. So speaking of just a little tighter, Amanda Sorenson, her driving was absolutely spot on. Loved it. Amanda, she seems like she's really poised, Lorette. What's her mindset coming this round? She knows this track and she's done well here before.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say her mindset is completely and totally focused. She came in, she didn't even celebrate. Of course, there was a few high fives, but she went right to work and she was just watching that last battle. Amanda, incredible work. Judge Reese said that your lead run was spectacular. Where do you feel like you were the strongest?
Yeah, I definitely just have to say shout out to Matt's my spotter, because with him and I as a team, we're doing great, and we're just now at the point where we're having consistent lead runs, but we're working on the things to make it that 1% better, and yeah, so I'm feeling pretty confident in it.
Great job. We'll see her moving forward, guys.
Thank you so much, Lorette, and yeah, Amanda just cooking in the kitchen right now, and that being the cockpit, she's doing such a good job. Really like the poise. It just seems like, you know, it's like I said, there's all these commitments that she has to do. You know, she's on Rockstar, Air Force, and sometimes the priority at hand, the task at hand is winning. You know, and right now it seems like she has that eyes on the prize.
Yeah, and it attests to like her support system. She allows her to kind of focus on the driving and not have to, you know, on other things during the event.
Yep, absolutely. But again, thanks to the sponsors, United States Air Force, Rockstar, all that, you know, sponsor the series as well. So shout out to them. Josh Stewart, Alex Jagger, here we go. Stewart in that Corvette. Jagger, this is home track. I know he's got his wife, his kids, his family. He's got a lot of people cheering him on, but Stewart is in the way of that. Stewart has great place in that Corvette. Jagger now brings it on in, and a good job there in that Steal It. Race treads, Nissan Z in that second outside zone. Stewart in there. You can see Jagger, good proximity. Now passing past that inside clip and transitioning now into that last outside zone. I want to see that overhead of where the Stewart vehicle and Jagger's vehicle is at.
Yeah, I really enjoyed how Stewart just commanded that Corvette into that outer zone one. I think he kind of threw Jagger off a little bit because he had some weird transition issues here. He's playing a little bit game of catch up, but Stewart doing a great job of piloting that Corvette around that outer zone 2. Jagger getting some position. You can almost see the left foot braking there from Jagger as he pumped the brakes twice. It kind of bit him there as during that transition. It put him a little far, like a step or two behind getting into outer zone 3, and he couldn't quite get the proximity to Stewart in that outer zone 3 where he was just full angle, full commitment. Good job on Stewart in his lead run. Let's see what Jagger can do.
Yeah, Jagger's out front. Stewart now chasing him down. These guys look like they could be brothers almost. All right, Jagger out front, Stewart. Jagger now, come on in. Oh, we got a restart there. What did you see?
That's a cone hit.
Cone hit. All right, dude, take pride in your work. I know you're up here, but you got eagle-eyed Cherry over here.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. All right, that is a restart for Jagger. Cone hit, a little too spicy coming out of the start chicane. And again, these are our top 10 results after Atlanta. So Taska came in leading, Brutzky, Cody, Stewart, Zalinski. So Zalinski being out, Stewart's right there. And
still in the game with
Cameron Sorenson. You know, he's looking to gain some ground. Unfortunately, he was knocked out in 32 due to and Amanda. She'll
she's looking to...
She'll definitely accrue some points as well.
Yeah.
And we are restarting. And here we go. Alex, looks like now we got to restart. No cones were hit. Steele at Race Treads, all new Z, comes in. Stewart, Alex comes in with a good transition in that second outside zone. He is really right at the edge of that course. Oh, we almost have contact. Stewart backs off a little bit. And Jagger, very fluid. You love the fluidity. He's running his own line. Stewart's not even there. He is using all of the course. I mean, he put that GT radial right on the course edge on outside zone 2 and 3. Stewart was kind of wavering back and forth. Good effort there, but you can see thumbs up, good driving from these guys. Alex wants this. He really wants this.
I wish he would have showed it in his initiation. It was kind of just straight up, but he did a good job of checking these boxes. But hey, who am I to judge, right? But Stewart, he throws a little too much angle in the Corvette as they're going through outer zone 2, and it really he tried to play the game catch up. And I like what Stewart did here. It showed his experience here. He almost made contact, hit that left foot brake, made the correction. He really had some good proximity going to the outer zone 3. As Jagger did a great job there as well. Like he was checking all the boxes, and you know that's my only nitpick. But as far as his entry, straight up handbrake, and Stewart kind of playing the game of catch-up again, like Reese was talking about on outer zone 1. But here you can see it, the Corvette almost over-rotates, pulls angle out of it, gets that little bit of a door tap, potentially, and then stays with him the rest of the way. So his machine definitely has the capability to keep up with that rocket ship of the Z that Jagger does have. So it's just a matter of putting that car in the right place at the right time, which he attempted to, but sometimes the machine and the man don't agree.
Yeah, Alex had a great lead run. Stewart definitely had a good lead run. So I'd almost say it's chase versus chase, and obviously we always break that down, but as our judges are waiting to see maybe a little bit of review, side by side coming up. So this is like I said, the top 16 is when they get just more and more refined. So
yeah, so we're able to see kind of the difference here in initiation. Stewart going way to the right, left, smoke building up right before that outer zone versus Jagger's. Both fielding zone just as well, but Stewart was definitely on the throttle way earlier. But look at this outer zone 2 difference here. Jagger a little further in the pocket, but Stewart does show a little. He's trying to establish dominance as he taps that right front tire or left front tire of Jagger, and the better transition here by Stewart in that chase position. But Jagger does close the gap, but he's just about halfway through that outer zone 3, which you need to do that straight away coming out of that transition. That's where you're gonna win. If the hairs are being split, looking at just the chase, that's where you're gonna wow the judges, I feel.
Here we go, slide them left for Stewart or right for Alex Jagger. There's a 1, there's a 2, and a 3. Alex Jagger gets the win. Stewart, great driving. Reese, if you could throw your headset on, just elaborate there. Obviously both drivers want it. Alex got a lot of family here. He wants it, but if you could, please.
Yeah, they did a really good job in the lead. I would say both of them had really good leads. There were some errors there coming from the lead for both drivers, but ultimately in the chase going into outside zone 2, we saw that there was an error from Stewart that really threw off his line. Jared didn't do that when he was in the chase. He had a good lead, he had a good chase, and Jared's going to move.
So Alex Jagger gets the win. Congratulations to him. And we are 3 battles into our top 16. Thank you, Reese. Thank you to Brian and Vernon. Next battle here, we got Alan Boss versus Jerry Johnson. Both these guys have had some sensational driving, jumping their cars, which has been definitely unique.
Yeah,
you know, we saw Boss in the air, Johnson, this guy, crazy cat guy. Just thumbs up. He's having some fun.
Yeah, these guys could be brothers too, I think.
Yeah, right.
But Alan Boss has had more airtime in that Z, I think, than anybody else.
He needs to get his pilot's license. Here we go. Taking a look as Johnson out front. You cannot mistake that big air cleaner from any other car. Brings it into, look at Boss. He tucks into that smoke, no problem. Not phased at all. Both these guys in that second outside zone. Again, mimicking that angle, and you can see Boss still has some power on deck, so you can see him diving in, trying to even get more proximity. Bring it across the finish line. That was fun. I want to see that overhead shot there, but they got through it really quick. Love Johnson's energy. His initiation was clean. It was straightforward. He's just all out.
Yeah,
all out.
I like the flick here, Johnson. Fortunately, we can't hear that thing sing as well as I'd like to in the booth, but let's give it to Boss here as he does a great transition going to the outer zone 2. Both drivers here doing a great job. It's looking smooth, very little corrections here. Boss just knocking on that rear left tire of Jerry Johnson as he does another great job in that transition, trying to stick it to the 97 door with Jerry as they finish out the run here. Very good job by both gentlemen.
And the sun, you can see just beautiful backdrop there. The sun, the wind has been blowing all day. It's just a real pleasant day. So looking forward to tomorrow as well. Hopefully everybody's coming out. Come on and join us. Round 4 of the Pro Championship. But right now, PROSPEC. Here comes Boss. Let's see if he initiates like a boss. Yes, he does. Yeet Fleet. Nissan Z comes in. Johnson tucks in. Has to back off, actually. Saw him try to get close. Has to back him off a little bit there. The Yeet Fleet Flamingo comes now out of the outside zone 2. Dude, dial. Look at that line that Boss had. Johnson tucks in once again. Wow, I'm loving this battle. I think this is just so much fun. I think both, again, yeah, the unicorns, the fat unicorns looking like rhinos here. Got the horn sticking out the hood. Man, that was, look at that. That was fun.
You could have switched roles and like they mimic each other and did great lead jobs. I'm like, this is gonna be hard. We're gonna be splitting hairs too, and this is where being that judge is, it's so hard. And you can see Johnson was a little shallow there in auto zone 1 and had a little difficulty in transition. That might be the hair that their judges are looking to split. But after that, on that door of Alan Boss, Jerry doing a great job here in transition again, just bumper to tail there as they swing it around, matching the angle the entire time, and keeping that pressure on Boss, trying to give us a good show here, and they do. A little left foot brake in there from Alan Boss as they bring it around. You can see almost mistimed that transition. Kind of had to slow the rotation of the car before he got into that outer zone 2, but he definitely made up for it. He reeled him in and kept the pressure on. Great job by Jerry Johnson, kind of making up for that mistake, but that might be the nail in his coffin in this top 16, Jared.
Yeah, J2 loved the chase job, but Boss gave him that opportunity to chase. So
correct.
Yeah, that cagekits.org got the livery. Assuming that's that race suit. Very unique. Like I said, it looked like a squirrel suit. Okay, was ready to go and skydive. Those are all his cats on the riding shotgun with them.
Jeez, oh Pete. No, we got a dog.
Yeah, he's got. Oh, there's
big
a dog.
Yeah.
One dog to rule them all. What's up, dog? Here we are, our side-by-side, brought to you by BC Racing.
Yeah, here we go. We can see a little more aggression in the Jerry Johnson camp as far as initiation goes. Very similar zone fill there, and there's you can see Jerry's the difference in that mistake there. Alan Boss timed that better, got in the pocket a little earlier, and that's really the only difference I can see in these two runs as we get around airflip 1. The proximity is similar, the transition here is similar on both parties, and I think you'll agree, Jared, that might be where Jerry Johnson's going to come up just that hair short.
Let's get a victor here. Look at the flamingo, just aggressive.
Yeah, we got the unicorn on the left and the rhino on the right. Like, what's going on here?
This is got a lot of.
I want that fresh air.
The chubby unicorn. Let's see, Johnson or Boss, two very talented drivers on both sides of it. Analyzing, the judges really scrutinize this. They're looking at their phones. A lot of them, or all of them, pretty much film. They film the tablet in front of them so they can scrub it, so they don't have to like kind of impede on anybody else's. So they'll scrub the video, kind of going back and forth, and I think that's definitely necessary versus telling our director run it back, do this, do that. So they'll film it, scrub the video, look at it, analyze certain elements of it, placement, wheel correction, placement of the vehicle, hitting the zones, outside zone, did a tire drop, did it impede the lead driver, impede on the chase driver, was there contact? All those things come into play, and you could, knee-jerk reaction, bah, I like that guy. Cereal soup? No, definitely not. Cereal's not a soup.
Then what is it?
Soup? It's cereal, it's its own thing.
It's in a bowl.
Yeah.
You have items in it that are surrounded by liquid.
No, then cereal. Is soup cereal? No. Are you a cereal killer? What's your cereal? What's your go-to cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, that checks out. Doesn't mean anything at all. As we are serially waiting to find out who's going to move on.
But yeah, it's getting one that's this close. I'm glad we let's say it has to go to a one more time, but the reason is super justified. If it goes that way,
need a
not
winner.
like someone
need a winner.
made big mistakes. You need a winner?
I need a winner.
All right.
I'm gonna twist the screws. I'm gonna apply the pressure on the judges. Do we have a victor? Jerry Johnson, Alan Voss. Jerry Johnson gets 1 vote.
Okay.
Jerry Johnson gets 2 votes. Jerry Johnson gets 3. And that was unanimous. I think Jerry's lead run was just really good. I liked it was just full throttle.
Okay.
I felt it like it was really full throttle. He had good placement of it.
That initiation.
Yep. Yep. So, all right. Well, when we come back, we'll continue the action. We are halfway through our Formula Drift PROSPEC top 16. Sorenson, Chen, Jagger, Johnson, Brutzky, and Miles when we come back here to E-Town.
ECU, let's get it.
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Blink Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're gonna add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000-wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
These are my race treads for going the distance.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Welcome to Taco Bell. What can I get started for you?
I'd like a 10-piece crispy chicken nuggets, please, and a Rockstar Energy Refresca.
Pull ahead to the pickup window and try not to leave a trail this time.
Nice drifting, Freddie. Enjoy your Rockstar Energy Refresca.
Thank you.
We're back halfway through our top 16 Formula Drift PROSPEC Championship, and we are looking at Brutzky and Miles. Ooh, this would be good. The way Miles is driving, just Miles over the years, he's again, Miles, styles of Miles of styles, all of it. He's got I feel like his driving has progressed as well. He's always, once the coolest this, that wheels, now it's like, all right, I don't care how it looks, let's drive it. It still looks great, but you know what I'm saying? But he's going against Brutzky, and Brutzky knows his course, so he really needs to elevate his game. Brutzky rips it out of the first outside zone into the second. I mean, look at that. I mean, that is absolute textbook. You see Miles' style into the second, and then hits that clip, knocks out of the way. Brutzky, great car placement. What you'd expect from him. And Dustin tucks right in. Definitely backed off a little bit, hit that inside clip, but not too bad, not too shabby.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of showed that the car could have kept up. Right here, you can see the transition. Dustin Miles kind of surging forward after, you know, light the tires off there, but then he kind of struggled a little bit to keep it, where Brutzky gave him a perfect canvas to paint his chase run for Miles to do, as he does a good job of timing there, but the car just didn't want to rotate fast enough and like keep that proximity I think that Dustin Miles wanted. But,
and that overhead view really indicated that he was short on every outside zone. Unfortunately, you saw how deep Brutzky was, and Dustin was right on that, on the outside zone edges.
Half a car width out of that pocket, I would say. Like, he just needed to be right there to make it exceptional, or not exceptional, but sensation.
In contention and just really drive it home. All right, so now Dustin Miles will lead Brutzky, chasing him down. Out of the start chicane, Dustin Miles, you can see, get a little darker here. Oh, and he initiates, and that is not what you want. He yanks that handbrake, and it looks like just out of the gate. This is very comparable to, you know, not exactly, but how you start. It's really hard to make that up, but Brutzky doing a good job there. Flirted with the dirt, so, you know, let's take a look at it again here. But initiation, some went wrong. Some went south.
Yeah, I was going to mention earlier, as the sun goes down, I mean, between this battle and the break and the left half of the bracket here, we saw a lot less sunlight. That thing could have gripped up, and I feel like it caught him off guard. Brutzky doing a great job staying in frame there, keeping it in drift. You know, just dials in, reels in that S13 hatch of Dustin Miles, and he does a good job mimicking. And Dustin Miles, you know, besides that, did a really good job checking the boxes in his lead driving role, as Brutzky closed the door a lot better. So I think we know which way this is going to go.
Yeah, Brutzky just a dominant force here. He knows the course. Dustin making that mistake on initiation. Unfortunately, that's going to be all she wrote for him. And Brutzky gets the win. Lorette Nickel is with another winner in the Grade 8. Good energy, good big cat energy, Lorette.
Guys, this guy is hilarious and had me absolutely cracking up. He's been working on his program since 2017 to get here, and in his rookie season, this is his first top 16 that he's going into. Amazing, Jerry, and you have done it. You've been dreaming about this moment for a long time.
I really had the time of my life out there, and, you know, driving the car at this track, it's such a legendary track being in the stadium. I'm at a loss for words.
And the car, he's built everything himself. So we're going to let you focus on what's at hand coming up next. Best of luck. Guys, keep an eye on this man right here.
The man in black, thumbs up, the stash, the cats.
Well, if he had a monocle and a top hat, that'd be the monopoly man.
Pull his pockets out. Right. All right, Nick Jimenez, Colette Davis, California kids. You know, Colette spending time in Florida. Nick Jimenez now in Oklahoma. Let's see what we got. The Z versus the BMW. And either of them, one of them will be going against Dmitry Brutzky. Jimenez will lead, and Colette Davis chasing him down.
Yeah, I feel like this one's kind of evenly matched. We got, you know, Colette in her freshman year here in PROSPEC, Nick Jimenez, sophomore, and he's kind of coming into his own. Colette's, you know, a great pilot of that machine, so this should be a good one.
Seat time, getting familiar with the car. Colette, like you said, sophomore, new car for Colette. She does hit that cone, but as a chase car, you can't hit the cone. That's not a restart, just for clarification. Nick initiates. Colette tries to tuck in. She came on the outside and then works her way on in the second outside zone. Colette dives in the inside, struggling to get out to that outside zone. She finally does now, coming into that inside clip. And that final outside zone. Jimenez dials it in. Well done. Yes. Yep, that's exactly where he needed to be. So getting that clean air. Colette rotates past the finish line. That won't hurt her, but let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, I like Jimenez's approach here. Little flick of the wrist, lighting the tires off way early before the 3-2-1 and filling out that zone. Left foot braking. Colette, a little bit of failure launch, cuts the line there in outer zone 1. And then I'm not sure if the car, there's some sort of hiccup there that she had to make up for in that chase position. But Jimenez, a little wavering in that outer zone 2, not a huge deficit at all versus what Colette has been showing us in the chase position. She just couldn't quite close that door like she'd probably want to on Jimenez. So let's see what she's been dialing in this entry. I expect something big from her. She's going to have to show up here in the lead position. Jimenez has got an opportunity here to show, you know, with Colette's chase and what he can do.
Yeah, I think Colette's really got to step up here and put down a really solid, dominant run here. And that's what she wanted, and she did that. So good, smooth approach there to the outside zone. Now Colette's second outside zone. Jimenez back there quite a bit. Colette pulls out. Again, just fluid lines from Colette and Jimenez. Jimenez coming in hot in that last outside zone. Almost blinded by the smoke, does cross the finish line, so.
Looks like Jimenez almost ran out of tire there,
right?
About halfway through outer zone 2. Just judging by like how well he was able to lead, you know, dominantly when Colette was chasing, but Colette was like just
off and running.
Off and away as Jimenez is kind of struggling here. Surprisingly, I thought he was going to, you know, mat it on her door, and he just struggled the whole time. And Colette checking all the boxes here in the lead position, doing a great job. Could have been a little deeper in most of the zones, but did do a good job. No major mistakes. And we'll take another look at it here as she does a good flick there. We were talking about the initiation. You know, she did have that mishap a few weeks ago at this very track, but you know, that's not going to scare her off here as we get through outer zone 2. Jimenez, just you can see that car withering and wavering. I just feel like he ran out of tire. Like, it looks like he's putting a lot of wheel speed in that car, judging by the amount of smoke that's pouring out of the back of that thing. And these things are at their limits. We have a spec tire. They got to last 2 laps, and I think he found the limit and then some. Unfortunately, something to dial in, something to learn from.
Yeah, it's definitely about attrition, and that's not only the equipment of the car, but like you said, salvaging the tire and the consistency about it, because like you said, it could fall off, degrade the placement of the car, the attitude of the car, and placement.
Yeah, or even, you know, the throttle works both ways.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's true.
Yeah, looking back, you can see Colette even had a dominant just to start off here, and Jimenez did a great job, but Colette was much more approximate with her, minus her little mistake here. She was able to not cover up the mistake, I want to say, but definitely recovered as she had the fresh set of tires in that chase position. That might have been the advantage there just naturally, is where they were seated in the bracket, allowing her to chase first, but she did dominate in the chase position, in my opinion. So their lead runs, I would say they're on par with each other, but I think she has the advantage in that chase position, so we'll see what happens.
A lot to analyze here. Colette Davis, Nick Jimenez. We're waiting to see who advances on to the Grade 8 and who goes against Brutzky. Yeah, that guy agrees. That guy agrees with whatever she's saying. Yeah. You and I love your shirt. I love your shirt, brother. Love your shirt.
Letting the hamburger meat hang out there.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that guy.
Let's take a look. Slide of left for Jimenez, right for Colette Davis. So one more time, not once, but twice, and 3 times. So one more time battle, and absolutely agree with that. I think both of them have an opportunity to tighten it up, get a little tighter and righter, and like you said, that wheel speed of Jimenez maybe compromised the tire. What was that? So it looked like Jimenez had a better lead, Colette had a better chase. All right.
Okay.
Yep. Got the hand signals from Reese.
The international.
That was the quick one. Lead chase. Cody Buchanan, Chris Leonard. Buchanan, another driver from Fargo, North Dakota. And Ruth as well. Saw Alec Robbins, he's helping out the Ruth, the 199, that yellow Z. Unfortunately didn't make it into 16, but definitely a talented driver.
Yeah, that should be a good one. Leonard's been really kind of coming into his, not final form, but blossoming, I guess, if you will. And Buchanan, heavy hitter there, goofball. I know you always get a kick out of his
just his candor.
Off track, yeah.
It's just candor. I think he's just so much fun, man. He's so much fun. All right, here we go. Cody Buchanan, SRDZ, into that first outside zone. Leonard needs to join the party. Jumps up there. Look at Buchanan. I mean, just the attitude of the car, just ripping. And it's just such a juxtaposition to his personality. And just look at the attitude, just the car lifting up.
Yeah.
Little almost off camber, that outside zone 3.
Yeah, that thing was just cooking. I'm kind of surprised that Leonard was just kind of almost grasping at straws to keep up and didn't want to. It kind of, you can see that in his chase position because Buchanan just throwing that thing in there outer zone 1, lighting up the cars before outer zone 2. Leonard cutting the line a little bit, but he does dial it back in, but you can see all the corrections he's had to do to get to that position to chase. Does a decent job timing here, a little bit late. I think that would have favored him if he would have done that a little bit earlier, because he did have a good position in the chase position. It just needed to be offset and closer to Mr. Buchanan ball. So let's reverse the roles here and see what that little pony of Chris Leonard can do out front as Buchanan gives chase.
Leonard running Yodi?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a purebred.
That's a Clydesdale of a horse right there, baby. He's got big hooves, long hair, it's strong. Here we go, Chris Leonard into that first outside zone. Look at Buchanan dive in, tuck it in the smoke. Look at that, put him to bed. Read him a story, why don't you? As Leonard in that second outside zone, now comes on through the cotton candy. Cody Buchanan, oh, such a sweet treat, so sweet, almost get a cavity. Comes across that finish line, Leonard and Buchanan. Quickly, they say, let's get that side by side.
Yeah,
they just say, all right, let's take a look at that.
Yeah,
look at Leonard. Hey.
Looking back, remembering his top 32 run, Chris Leonard was just probably one of the most angles throwing that car. Like, I mean, he's at full lock there and kind of messes up with Buchanan, but Buchanan recovers really quickly. A lot more wavering in the lead position here from Leonard versus Buchanan, who's sticking it to the door of that Mustang a lot better than Leonard was to that Z. So as they run around here in outer zone 3, Buchanan kind of cheating the line a little bit there. You know, might be running out of tires to cheat the angle to get that proximity, but we'll take a look at the side-by-side here soon. As we take another look at it from the Justin Sebastian's drone here, you can see that full angle for that Mustang. Buchanan matching it, a little delay in his transition, but he does recover it really well as he shows, he's trying to establish some dominance, put it on that Chris Leonard Racing Mustang as they ring around inner clip. Buchanan getting through the smoke, a little handbrake pull there as they get through outer zone 3. You can see just a tiny bit of cheating of the angle and the line there to get that proximity, but look at these warriors. Give us a wave there. Oh.
Taking your job, Lorette.
She never let go.
Never let go. She's taking your job. We got you. Having some fun there. A lot of pink out there. Look at that, throwing the hearts out there as we take a look at our side-by-side.
Yeah, I think we'll see the difference in the smoothness and confidence in Buchanan lead position over Chris Leonard, and the difference in proximity and how Chris Leonard kind of struggled a little more in that chase position. You can see he's not as deep in outer zone 2 as Buchanan was in his lead position. Chris Leonard almost going off there at the end of outer zone 2. Buchanan doing a decent job in that transition. Chris Leonard could have timed that better. He was further away in the pocket, but did fill out outer zone 3 a little better in that chase position. So there's a couple things to nitpick here. We're in the top 16. It's time to get down and dirty in the details. What are the judges going to say, Jared?
We're about to find out. Buchanan or Leonard, slide him left 4. Buchanan gets 1 vote, gets 2 vote. Cannonball. Buchanan gets the win over Chris Leonard. And there it is. Hey, I got an update. Greg Bussell of Cora Works got a text from Sebastian of Miles, Dustin Miles' team. Sent me a photo. Look at this. Dustin's trans would not hold, so they bungeed it into 2nd place.
Dustin Miles?
Yeah. Look at, there's a bungee cord holding it into 2nd.
Wow.
That is some engineering.
Okay.
That is some engineering.
If that's what you want to call it, by all means. Let's look at our next
Trevor Root, Cole Richards. Trevor Root. He's got that BMW. He had a hard-fought battle earlier. Root and it was Shelly Hansen. Shelly Hansen. Yeah, that was a good one. And Cole Richards, Brian Hopp. That was a fun one to watch. Now Cole Richards finds himself going against Root. So Root and Richards.
Yeah, Root's going to have to step up here. I feel like there's something a little off. I don't know what it is, but let's hope he can put it together here because he's got an uphill battle, a climb here with Richards, who's won here.
Yeah, Cole Richards has had some great success. Again, a lot of these drivers very soft-spoken. Let the driving do the talking. Root initiates in that first outside zone. Richards tucks in, now transitions. Trevor, big, massive angle, but wrong place to be. Like you said, it's Trevor gripping up. The temperatures are dropping. I don't think that's so much a factor here, but you called it out of the gate. So now Cole Richards, now just kind of going through the paces because you're just so shallow on that second outside zone. It's a little tough.
That is a bold strategy, Jared, as we look at it. He had a really wild, I like the initiation from Root. Cole Richards is right there, a little foot break from the boot camp as Richards kind of slow to bring it down here, but it's kind of a good thing he did because Root was so off course there at the first half of outer zone 2, but Richards dials it back in as he does a good job of transitioning. Look at that mimicking, but now with that mistake, maybe he's just thinking, let's dial it back here. Now I can show my stuff in the lead position here since Root didn't shine so well there.
Trevor's spotter over here. First of all, he's got Mater Crocs on. Style points definitely up there. He's even Pat Gooden's giving him a little, hey brother. Pat Gooden, you'll see him at the local Texas Roadhouse if they have one here. But he's spotting for Cole Richards. So the two spotters of the opposing teams up here, talking to Trevor Root's spotter, he says, car over-rotated. I said, talented driver, what's going on? He says, just not his weekend here. So, but he's hoping, fingers crossed, that Cole Richards makes a mistake. Cole definitely capable of just solidifying his advancement. We know what he's capable of. Car seems to be running well. Now it's just curse, knock on wood. But Cole Richards, we know what he's capable of.
Yeah, anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and usually does. All right, look at that. Got smash right there, up close and personal. You can see the light right there in the middle. Once it extinguishes, boom, Cole Richards lead one. Trevor Root in tow. Let's see what Richards has got. Initiates. Good. Manji, boom, right into that outside zone. Root just shuts her, but doesn't shut her down, just failure to launch. Cole Richards right on that course edge. This is very exemplary of what Cole Richards could do into this last outside zone and just seal in the flavor for Cole Richards. Use all the course, locked and loaded.
Yeah,
Cole Richards, boom.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear here. Trevor Root kind of had a understeer disaster there coming in from outer zone to 2. We'll take another look at it here and maybe deduce what happened here. Richards doing a great entry here, doing his due diligence, filling that outer zone 1 there. I'm not sure what happened with Root. Maybe we'll get a little insight with his spotter here, but just couldn't get the car to swing around that transition into the outer zone 1. But Richards doing a great job, smooth, exactly what we expect. Root does come back from that deficit, but too little, way too late. A lot of mistakes in both the lead and chase in the Root camp.
And waiting for the verdict, but it's going to be unanimous. Cole Richards unofficially getting the win. We'll make it official here in a moment, but slide him right for Cole Richards. And there it is. Cole Richards gets the win, advancing on into the Great 8. One more battle left in the 16. That's that one more time battle between Colette Davis and Nick Jimenez. And we are high atop. We're right there in the middle, just above the old slingshot drag racer, just above the sign, as there is our top 16, and now whittled down to 8 or 7 at this juncture. Jimenez and Colette. So Sorenson and Chen, Alex Jagger, Johnson, and one of these drivers is going against Brutzky, and finally we'll have Buchanan and Richards. Nick Jimenez, don't leave in the judges' hands. Guy and gal. Nick Jimenez comes out. Little hiccup there. Did you see that?
Weird. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, that was a delayed reaction. I think Colette adjusted properly. Jimenez now in that second outside zone. Colette now womps on it. Gets back to the side of the Nissan Z. Past that, it was good. Again, she adapted really well. It just seemed like just a little hiccup coming out. Maybe take a look at that again. Maybe the overhead view.
Yeah, it could have been a misshift, Jared, because they're coming out of the gate. Maybe he's got one more gear to grab and finally force it, because these are forced to have all H pattern transmissions here. So despite that, fills the zone out really well. Colette doing a great job of adapting to that. She attacks into that chase position and gets into formation. And Jimenez looking very smooth in that outer zone too, doing a good job of filling it all the way through that inner clip one. Look at that Mimic just dancing into that pocket as she brings it around on that door of that Z and finishing it through the line. Very good job on both parties. Besides that little hiccup, there wasn't really much to take away from Jimenez's lead. It sucks that is a little thorn in the side of that run.
Yeah, Nick definitely has the making of a good run there, but just right out, it was really unique. Here we go, Colette Davis now out front. You can see the accelerate lights are on, going right into that first outside zone. She hits it, quits it, so she kind of wasn't flawless there either. Now that second outside zone puts it in. Both the drivers kind of navigating interestingly through second, and here comes, whoa, boy.
Jeez, come on. Yikes.
Oh, and we're gonna run that back and take a look. That's unfortunate. She's okay?
Yeah.
So we are hearing that she's okay, and that was just a hard hit, and that, oh man, you just hate to see it because, you know, Colette, she was very transparent about figuring out that initiation into, and again, just the way that car is postured on that wall. This is definitely going to take a minute. And suspension arms, all sides. Not.
So what?
Glad she's okay.
Yeah.
Car.
Let's let her get out.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And you can see front left going that way, front right going. Yeah, they're going.
Fishing.
Yep.
I could see what Jimenez was trying to do there, and you could kind of tell that tire situation. I feel like it halfway through that outer zone, he's like approximate, then it drops back. And then he pulls angle out of it to try and get that proximity back, and then times that transition just a little too soon, gets way in front of the pocket, impedes on the lead driver, and disaster strikes. I think I don't want to put, like, it wasn't done purposely, just you're trying to.
He was on the brakes.
Yeah.
He was on the brakes.
Wow.
Ooh-wee.
I mean, without getting, you know, official of the fault and everything, I think we know.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't think Colette
trying to pass there. I mean, it wasn't an intentional pass, but let's see here.
Smoke,
he's on the brakes.
Things.
Woof.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with momentum. This is just wrong place, wrong time, too aggressive.
Trying to get that pocket.
As you say, the tires.
He needed to bring it, you know, and I feel like, yeah, he ran out of tire, and especially for that kind of maneuver, and just mistimed it. Just a series of unfortunate events.
All right, safety crew. Let's make it official. Colette Davis does get the victory. If, you know, yeah, such a bummer. Would love to see her compete and move on. Yeah. I don't know if there's enough time.
Yeah, to have a 100% car going against, you know, an X-Championship winner like Brutzky, that's going to be quite the ask.
Yep.
Even the rear end, like you can tell the toe in that right rear is
sitting, dude.
Out.
Just, yeah. So we're ratcheting the car there.
They got an anchor point there. Oh.
Oh, they're lifting it up.
I see. Yeah.
Okay, Colette's out. Make some noise for Colette Davis, if you will, please. Colette, some great driving. Round of applause. Once again, Colette, great driving there. You did get the victory. She will advance on. We'll see. And the scenario here is, you know, if she does advance on. So
well, she did advance.
She does have a break. She's 2 battles, and she does have her competition timeout. So 20, 30 minutes, you know,
It all depends, you know, like we said, anything can happen. It's hard to have that car at 100% where you'd want it to, but there's hope. She's got a good support system, I think, you know, between even all the teams. That's what I really love about drifting is, like, we have competitors, but they're also your friends in most cases.
Yeah.
Like, people are willing to help out, and versus like other motorsports you see are a little more secretive, I feel.
Right. Yep. Well, I think you could have two identical setup cars, and you're going to get two different outcomes, two different drivers, two different styles, two different initiations. Well, what you will see is us returning. We'll be right back. We'll find out what happens here. We'll go Colette's Fitment Industries BMW off the wall. She's definitely going to need some new wheels. So call Fitment, get some new wheels. But we'll be back here with more action. So our grade 8 has been settled, but don't go anywhere when we come back here to E-Town. Round 2 of the Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. Most recent winner, Colette Davis. We'll see what transpires with her car. She goes in and just gets checked out. She obviously seems okay.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
ECU, let's get it.
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Link Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're going to add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an F824 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000-wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
Welcome back to the streets of Long Beach. Once again, here we are. Cars are staged, the flags are waving, the umbrellas are out, the track is hot, the wind is blowing, and the drivers are ready. Here's Chris, the Force for Bird! Forsberg applying the pressure outside zone 3. Make some noise for Northern California zone, the beast from the Bay, Matt Vito! Do that first outside zone. That Corvette slides it. Oh! You know him, you love him, Mr. Adam LZ! Look at Adam LZ in his BMW.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
What's up, guys? I'm Ryan Turk, and we're taking it from Turk. We are going to switch things up. We're going to talk about one of my favorite moments from the Turk series. From years ago when we filmed 4 seasons of that, I did opposite controls where I put the driver, all he had to do was handle the handbrake and the steering wheel, and then I operated the clutch, brake, and gas pedal. And Forsberg was my pilot.
Tony is going to be in my passenger seat controlling everything. I'll be in the driver's seat only doing the wheel.
Hopefully controlling everything.
Hopefully controlling everything.
And it was just, it worked way better than I had anticipated. Like, there was some mistakes, but nothing catastrophic.
You're an idiot.
And I just remember that happened here at Englishtown. And it was just an absolute blast because it was the freakiest feeling. It was like almost like we were calling out like shift, handbrake, or like push the clutch in or more gas or whatever. It was just such a different way to try to drive a drift car, and it's just super fun because now you have a buddy and a co-pilot that's also driving the car. So pretty unique experience. I wish I still had that car so we could just take it out for fun every once in a while. Actually, now that I'm saying this, I'm gonna build another one. Take it from Turk, have some fun.
All right, well, just talking to Colette's spotter over there, and he's like, man, her car's fast, and then he tried to catch up and just went in on the inside, but look at this. We got, ooh, boy. We are lifting that thing up, man.
By the roll cage.
What is Colette saying with the body language here? So you can see her talking to Lorette, and Lorette, let's go ahead, if we can, share what's going through her mind. Very unfortunate. Glad she's okay, but Lorette, down to you.
Of course, the first question is, she's fine. Look, guys, she's all right. A great sense of humor about the situation, and I'm so sorry that this happened. What do you have to say about the situation?
Sucks being used as someone's brakes again, 2 rounds in a row, but it just more sucks for the team. Like, I totaled this car already like 2 weeks ago. We worked so hard to get here, to even be here right now, and to be taken out like that. So stupid, so dumb. Really sucks. So we'll see if we can get the car ready. I'm totally fine. I'm good. Car's not fine, but hopefully we can work a miracle and get back out there.
Yeah, and I know you worked so hard from 2 weeks ago to get over that mental hurdle as well. Have you been able to see what the damage is?
I'm trying not to look as they pull the car down, but I can't tell how much, like, maybe a tower has moved in. I would say it's fixable, but if there's too severe frame damage that maybe we can't, realign the car for, that might keep us out. But fingers crossed, we're gonna try and get back out there and ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. So everyone here, just cross your fingers, knees, toes, everything. Let's hope that we see you back on the track. Ladies and gentlemen, Colette, thank you.
Thank you so much, Lorette and Colette. Let them move on. Let them be. As Colette.
Don't strangle her, jeez.
Yeah. All right, go. Okay, so taking a look at it again.
Yeah, so we got Jimenez here. He's kind of seems to run on a tire. There wasn't that much smoke, but I think he just got obviously way too aggressive. Didn't have enough tire to slow that car back down. And the car just had way too much momentum to kind of pull off. Yeah, he definitely got lost in the smoke. Let's be honest here, but it's just too much, too late.
Yeah, but hitting excelled and then broke and then broke.
Yeah, he would have been better off trying to complete the pass, to be honest. If we're just, but hindsight's always 20/20. I'm sure he feels just as bad as
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So getting this car slowly off the wall and just, don't want to cause any further damage, but obviously, we're looking at
a game of operation here.
Walls, yeah. Pulling out the not so funny bone.
Yeah,
the game of operation.
See that tie rod sitting there. I mean, we could potential rack replacement, but the good thing is she's got a couple battles.
Got to pull it this way.
Her competition timeout. Just put out a rough estimate of 20-30 minutes to get this car back in competition order. But the big thing is, like, those BMWs, the tower is going to be like she mentioned, that could be pushed into an extreme. Like, you can see that apron.
That
look
front.
at that.
Oh, shoot.
Goodness.
That is wrinkled.
That is truly unfortunate. You can even see in the back of the A-Peller kind of got a wrinkle back there too. That's not what you want to see. Something that can take hours to fix properly off the track. They're gonna have to work a little bit of a miracle.
Sun is setting. The lights are coming on here at Englishtown. And there is, we're taking a look, Chris Knapp family, talking to Colette Davis and finding out, get the car off. We're having a good flow. We do have our grade 8. Expectations, Amanda Sorenson, Nate Chen?
Ooh, I mean, there's a lot of heavy hitters in this top 8.
Nate Chen's the guy to beat, I think. I mean, just as far as consistency, I would say Chen and Brutzky. Again, both these guys, they drive the Gambler events, road course, and here. All right, Jagger and Johnson.
I think if Jagger, I'll put a little bug in his ear. Let's put a little flair in it because Johnson's got I think that
Johnson's got nothing to lose. Everything, just nothing to lose. He's having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He's stoked. He's like, I feel like he already won in his head.
I agree.
But Jagger's got
something to prove a little bit.
Something to prove. He's got his family. He's got his wife, his kid, his family, just all of that. But put that aside. Just drive. Have fun. Sometimes when you overthink it, that's when you mess up. Just default. Go back to your drive with your homies.
And you can kind of tell that in the driving. Like you can tell Johnson's having probably a little more fun than Jagger. And you can see that in the initiation. I know I go back to that often, but it really sets the tone in your lead run on how well you can pull that off. If you can, flick that car in really hard and like pour the angle, fill the zone well, and then, make the chase driver almost work for that.
Brutzky and obviously Davis, we know the scenario there, and then Buchanan and Cole Richards. Richards, the way he's driving, if he continues that, his eyes are on the prize. Buchanan, I think he needs to tighten it up. As fun as he's having, he needs to go kind of the opposite of Jagger, really kind of dial it in, right?
Yeah.
Wacky, zany, good attitude. So, well, as we are getting Colette's vehicle off, let's go under the hood with the 702 team, the trio. Not brother, not sister, brothers, sisters. You got 2 brothers, 1 sister, the Sorenson. Let's go under the hood with the Sorenson Motorsports camp.
Great to see here in her United States Air Force BMW. Make some noise for Amanda Sorenson. United States Air Force BMW from Las Vegas, high flying Brandon Sorenson. Brandon Sorenson, he's giving it back to him. And Sorenson leveling up.
Amanda and Brandon are so close in age, they're 18 months apart. Randy's the one their dad got them into motorsports racing, and they both were really timid at first. I think the coolest thing about the 2 of them is that they've always had each other for testing the waters, for backup. When they didn't know what was going on, they at least had a buddy out there to do it with them. And they both equally sucked in the beginning, and they both have developed their skills along the way by pushing each other.
Being a parent and raising the kids in the motorsport industry is something that's really like, I wouldn't change it. It has taught them so much. It's like, any other thing. You get out of it what you put into it.
So I think it was around that 12 or 13 age for both of them. They knew that they were good, and so they weren't afraid to push the limits. They're both very competitive, and there's been times that Amanda will win and times when Brandon will win, and at the end of the day, they know that it's like nobody's going to get pissed off.
I'm very proud of them. Each one of them's got their characteristics. So, but yeah, this is our lifestyle.
Can you believe this?
Brandon and I actually started in BMX, which is crazy. That's where the competitive atmosphere came from. But Brandon was a star there, not me.
If you look at that picture right there, that says 2008 on it, so I was 4 years old. So after that, we're like, let's do something new. A buddy of ours had an LS E46 drift car, and that's basically just where it all started.
Sorenson, he wants it.
I'm just a very curious person, so I like to try and figure out and make my own things.
These are all of his drawings here, so first version, second version, third, fourth, fifth. But once he designs them, this is his 3D part that he prints. He makes sure the printer will actually print it out and do it properly. And then he tells the other computer, the big one, that actually has a block of aluminum in there, Then the block of aluminum will do the same thing the 3D printer did and like cut it out properly.
Whether or not this is going to really give us that big of a competitive edge, I'm not sure, but I'd like to have my own legacy and my own pieces that I've produced myself.
Oh, wow, look at this. Brandon Sorenson.
There's a lot of people who are just very competitive. I was definitely one of those people for 2 or 3 years where I was not able to have fun unless I was winning. But now I learned that the best part is like when I was driving against Connor and flipping him off in the Final Four, I think it was. No F's to give, just out there pushing each other to 110%. That's still the highlight of my drift career. Like, I would much rather have that memory than if it weren't to happen and I would have won. Good place, we did it, but we're gonna come for the top next time. This is a 427 RHS block, RHS heads, LS base motor. Everything basically from top to bottom on this car is custom, but we try and also keep things as simple and easy to work on as possible. So like the wiring harness, it all connects with one plug. And if we need to change the motor, we actually have another motor sitting in the semi with everything wired in. The whole thing swaps out, you know, really making things efficient as possible and easy to work on is the goal here.
Cameron got a brand new car for his Formula Drift debut. It's identical to my car. Everything is basically the same. Our goal is to be able to trade parts back and forth if we need to, or have spares, or literally take the body kit off of mine and bolt it onto his if needed. Cameron's a little mix of me and Brandon because I'm an emotional driver. I'm not joking, if I'm mad, I drive 100 times better. Brandon, on the other hand, knows how to just throw his emotions out the window and just perform, which blows my mind.
Oh, wow, look at this. Brandon Sorenson grinding in the door of Dylan Hughes. Brandon very aggressive on the chase.
For Cameron, I see that he's an emotional person like I am, but he also is very smart because he hangs out with Brandon every day. So, like, he has a little bit of mix of both of us. And he loves to talk smack. But we'll see if he could put his talent where his mouth is.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Sorenson initiates. He bangs the back end to back end.
Haven't beat either of us, so.
This year, my goal is to beat Amanda. That's about it. Beat Amanda. Hopefully get into pro. That is all I want right now, just to be in pro and run against Brandon. I really wouldn't care if I win or lose. Just running against my brother and my sister, I'm very, very excited for that because I feel like I'm going to achieve that.
My biggest goal is to have everyone in pro and all three of us on the podium together. I think that would be the coolest thing ever. And I don't think I'm going to stop until that goal is accomplished. Let's go.
Under the hood, under the helmet, some great insight there on the Sorenson Motorsports camp. The trio of Sorenson family competing on track, and it's good seeing their mom. She's, you know, supportive by silence. I talked to Randy yesterday. He's like, you know what? I'm stoked. He says they let me go, and I can just be a dad. He's like their whole camp over there, and Randy's been involved with you know, off-road, dirt racing, all that. And speaking of dirt, there's the wall that claimed Colette's vehicle there in the wall, definitely bashed and bruised. But I like the perspective there, and Amanda being really transparent, and obviously Brandon, Cameron talking about just the affinity and the respect he has for his siblings, but he still wants to compete against them. I like that piece. That was really great. Good job to our team taking the time and interviewing them. There's Amanda and Nate Chen. You can see Alex Jagger out back. So We are going to throw them into the burnout box. So here's our first battle of the grade 8. We know that Colette Davis is, now she's off the wall. Track is clear. We are going on with competition in our first battle of the grade 8. So a little low in the action. Colette Davis and her vehicle. Colette as a driver's fine. Vehicle, we'll see if they can thrash and get it back together, like you said.
Now that clock is ticking officially. Now that these guys are in the box, we're ready to keep rolling.
Well, progression of the event, and then obviously when we get to it, if they can call a comp timeout, or they're like, dude, just throat chop. And she would, or she does advance on with that victory, but basically Brutzky would advance on. He would basically get a bye.
Right. Yeah, she got the top 32 and 16 points.
Yeah.
But to be determined if she will be able to compete.
And now it's like, get that thing off the truck. Because now they gotta assess it. They're assessing it right now. Get out of the way. There's Colette and her team. See Victoria there, VFM Vital Focus. So back to the action here. Our first battle of grade 8 whittled down to this. So some exciting action on and off track. We just got under the hood of the Sorenson Motorsports camp out in Las Vegas. Amanda Sorenson going against Nate Chen. And like I said, Nate Chen, hard to beat. Really just what he can do here at this course, behind the wheel of this vehicle. A lot of confidence this quarter. But Amanda as well. You know, she got the podium here last year. You saw that. Hey, maybe she needs to get a little fire. She said, I drive, surprisingly, I drive better when I'm mad. Emotional driver. So, you know, kind of slap yourself around, smelling salts, do what you got to do. Yeah, let it enter your body.
Gotta get mean.
Like, yeah, just like harness the hate, yes. Here we go, Nate Chen out front, Amanda Sorenson in the chase position. Through that start chicane. And here comes Chen. Sorenson in tow. Bang, right into that first outside zone. Chen finds himself there. Quick little hiccup there, going to the second outside zone. Amanda Sorenson, like almost like a little checkup, but
right there.
Yeah, she is tucked in nicely. Coming to that last outside zone. Oh boy, Chen very deep into the dirt. That was very interesting there.
Very
how
uncommon.
How did Chen like survive that? I thought that was going to be way worse.
You know, in a situation like that, it's best to just keep it pinned. But awesome entry by Chen. Great transition here by Amanda. She stays on his door. Chen staying smooth as silk there. Not even bothered what's happening behind him. Maybe a little boop there. He fires off that engine as he goes through the inner clip. And there got one. Maybe the wall kept him in there. Yeah, just one off the track. So he will have a little deficit there, but I like the flick of his initiation here as we take another look at the run. Amanda kind of using a little temperament, waiting to attack. She times that transition really well there and stays consistent. Not a lot of adjustments in that chase position going through outer zone 2, and even knocks on the door a little bit of Nate Chen. She does a good job coming through that smoke as they both go into outer zone 3. Nate flicking up some dirt at the drone there, going off track to dip in a tire, and Amanda staying there the whole time with him. So Amanda's got some opportunity here. This is going to be a big hill to climb. This is the battle she needed, one of the biggest battles, before, to get back on that podium, to show that she can run it back like last year. So let's see what she can do up front. I know she won't disappoint.
I think she just needs to run this as if Nate's not there. She's running a good single qualifying run, put the car in the right place. But Chen, I expect him to really apply the pressure here. He's going to try to force an error from that chase position. There goes Amanda Sorenson into that first outside zone. Very comparable to what we saw with Nate out front. Now Amanda puts it right on the course's edge, flirting with the course. Oh, Amanda, gets disrupted, goes into the wall. She let it on. We're going to need to see that overhead shot as Amanda Sorenson now in that last outside zone.
Bummer.
Yeah, look, she was all good to that second half, but want to see that angle, that perspective, because obviously you saw she was out of sorts.
Yeah, I feel like
that could have been a lot worse.
The berm, that little chamfer bevel on the edge of that outer zone 2
saved her.
I think that's what happened. That right rear just kind of sucked her in there. Maybe caught a little bit of dirt, but let's check it out here. Chen doing a great job. I think Amanda had a little advantage here, but he also was matching the angle, showing that attrition. She had a really good line there. Dipping the tire, you can see the upset of the car. Hits that cone. Stays in it, but now we both have deficits on each side, so that's not what she wanted to do in her lead. No. Unfortunately, she needed. If it was just what she's been doing all weekend, and that would have been the bow on top of this battle for Amanda Sorenson. You can see Chen just surging in there. See that right tire. Car's upset, loses a lot of grip, so it washes out a little bit, takes the wall. Commendable, staying in it. That's what you want to do to get that complete run. So there's no incompletes as far as like going off, but it's definitely a deficit on both parties here. We can see one more time. Chen, Sorenson, Jared.
And there we are. So it looks like Colette Davis and her team, Brutzky's team, working on it as well. Or that's actually Dimitri himself. Look at Brutzky like thrashing on that thing. Yeah.
Pit crew there with the helmet on.
Well, admittedly, you'll see some drivers with helmets on. That's because to ride a scooter or anything around the pits, you have to have a helmet.
Right. Yeah, I like Chen's initiation a little better. Amanda straight up her initiative, but she did leave that outer zone one a little early. Chen doing both a similar job here at the transition. I think Amanda did a little better job in that position, chase position around outer zone too, but there's Amanda's mistake. You can see the clip flying off the frame. And then here's where Nate also dipped a tire. So they both got like a kind of a tit for tat thing. One tire off, one tire off. But if you look at it just face value, it kind of looked like Amanda's mistake was a little greater in that. But if you look at just one tire, it's kind of an even mistake.
All right. You can see Amanda talking to Mats, I believe.
Yes.
Spotter. Lee Chen on the other side, so she's elaborating, talking about it. The NCR 86. So let's see. So our first battle of the grade 8. Little lull in the action here. Still waiting for the verdict. And our judges analyzing the run. Do we have a victor? Really trying to apply the pressure to our judges as well, not trying to force a one more time. Want to get a winner. We're seeing those side-by-sides and
really kind of let them unfold, as you can see.
Yeah.
That's one. Oh, you know what, Jared, after looking at this angle, too, and I'm glad the director brought this up here, might have been 2 off there. So if you look at, again, just face value stuff, Nate has 1 tire off, she has 2. It's still not an incomplete. It's 3 tires off here is an incomplete, by the way.
Both of them made those mistakes in the lead run too, so that does impede on that chase driver and how they react. All right, so there it is. Nate Chen does get the victory, so looks like Vernon went the one more time. The other judges sided with Nate Chen. Amanda's evening is done. Some great driving by Amanda. Mistakes on either side, and that's where, unfortunately, it went south. But and there we are looking at Colette and her team. Crashing on it. I think it's really going to come. And now we're seeing Rad Industries. Amanda, I'm seeing Brutzky's team, seeing Rad Dan Burkett's team out there. I mean, all hands on deck.
Yeah, Jared, and if you look at the bracket, Dimitri Brutzky is supposed to do battle against Colette, yet he's down here, hands are on the car, he's doing what he can to help the team. As the team is working on the front left of the car, the shocks, the struts, there's a mechanic that's in there right now, and Colette is talking to her team, trying to figure out exactly what's wrong. But again, Dimitri Brutzky, he's supposed to do battle against Colette, and here he is helping his competitor. It's absolutely incredible to witness this.
Very cool. The overall, you know, just the credibility, and it's really cool. Here we go, Alex Jagger and Jerry Johnson. And coming into that first outside zone, here goes Alex Jagger. Johnson tries to get next to the Z, and look at that, he tucks in. Almost got some contact. There might even exchange a little bit of paint or a little bit of vinyl. Coming out of that second outside zone on that inside clip. You know, the brake lights being wildly more apparent in that last outside zone. You can see the Excel lights on the windshield here standing out quite a bit more now that the sun has set.
Yeah, Jacob did a great job there out front. Again, didn't see that flare that I was looking for. Jerry kind of cut that corner, did a good job of mimicking. Just a whisper of a wish between most bumpers, maybe even a little contact. You don't see a poof of smoke. Both left foot braking. Johnson getting formation a little late in that outer zone too, but he does a good job in the rest of the run, keeping it together. Good mimic there, closing the gap, and then again, gets away from him, but he has the tenacity and the vehicle to kind of close the gap right before the finish line. Yeah, so now Jerry can just really show his dominance in these battles, and the initiations we've been seeing him going to that outer zone 1 have been really fantastic, jaw-dropping almost. And I feel like we're going to see that again. That's going to be the big difference in the lead runs between these two drivers.
How much does the weather change here? The sun's setting, the temperature's dropping. How much does that play a role?
It allows you to, the car will grip up. If you don't, let's say you don't do any changes, it allows you to drive harder. Go in there with more commitment, more angle, and dig out.
Chocolate bite back. Yeah. All right, Johnson initiates into that outside zone. That's what you're talking about, that big dynamic entry initiation. Second outside zone, and Johnson sets in that second, puts it in. Jagger just on the outside of that second outside zone, approaching that last outside. Johnson puts it in.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what he needed to do. Very fluid. He ran his own line. Jagger in that chase position. So some great driving there, and you can see Mr. Johnson giving praise where praise is due.
Oh man, he gave me exactly what I wanted to see. That just flick of the wrist, not running away, Jared. Look at the angle he's pouring into that Z. Jagger might be at a disadvantage because he used some tires in his lead run, so he doesn't have quite that grip to catch up to that rocket ship that Jerry's put on, but he's using all that suspension travel and steering to navigate this course and doing just a spectacular job of filling the zones and taking those risks. You know, you think about that, you're throwing the car into the wall and then hoping it'll come back and catch you, showing your confidence and your trust in that machine. You know, hats off to Jagger. He's doing the best he can, and you know, to try not to sacrifice too much to make it look obvious. He just did not have the grip or the horsepower to keep up with that machine that's Jerry Johnson at number 97.
Johnson's having a lot of fun, but you could just tell he's kind of just a steward of the sport, a steward of the car, and he's just bringing that great energy, nothing to lose, and everything to win. Jerry Johnson gets the win, taking out Alex Jagger. Great lead run, and as you said, he did exactly what he needed to do. He put the ar in the right places. He was alone, man. That was like soul surfing. He was just on the wave by himself. Jagger, unfortunately, there was just a big separation, and it stayed consistently throughout the course. So, you know, just overall, great job by Johnson. Jagger, just too much room to make that.
Yeah, I feel like Jagger's a little more of a calculated kind of driver with his previous disciplines, and I feel like that kind of shows there. But Johnson looks like he's having so much fun in there and confident.
Here's the scenario right now. So Colette is intended to be on the line going against Brutzky. They were the next battle.
They just started the 5.
Cop timeout. There's 5 minutes. 5 minutes. We're seeing the crew. You know, this is if they get the car back together. Arms, gotta alignment. Also, it does need to pass. Basically the
clock.
Yeah, Kevin. There are a lot of variables here. You know, as far as making sure the car's up to snuff, align it. You can see back there, 4:30 left. This is Lorette, is it feasible? Is it feasible?
I don't know, but Colette's mom is asking everyone to pray, and if they don't pray, cross their fingers in hope. And Kevin Wells is down here, and you see Colette getting geared up. She sat in her car. It's 4 minutes and 6 seconds left. Kevin, is it possible for the team to fix the damage?
It's kind of hard to tell. There's a lot of damage on the actual strut tower where it mounts, and it blew the strut hat off. So we'll see if there's just enough clearance for the wheel to turn. It could be close. Otherwise, it's not that bad, but it's pretty crinkled. So.
And what are you seeing? Are you seeing the teams replace those damaged parts?
Yeah, they're swapping out the full strut. They're changing out the outer tie rod end and probably the inner and the upper strut hat, but the body part. I think they were going to try to pull it, but they might just be trying to beat it over and see what happens. But with 3 minutes to go, trying to align it and everything, it's definitely going to be really close.
All right, well, the words from Kevin Wells. And again, as Colette is getting her helmet on, she's getting her Hans device on, getting set up. There are at least 4 hands on both sides of the car, left and right. So we have 3 minutes left. Let's cross our fingers for Colette Davis.
Yeah, that's a hard ass there. Yeah, the spirit of drifting is alive. Make some noise for them. They can hear you from the stands down to the pits. All hands on deck. You can see some fans surrounding Colette and her vehicle, and she's, you know, just a true trooper. And like we said, the spirit, the camaraderie. We saw this last night with Jeff Jones. Supposedly the car's back up and running after a tree fell on it. So, which is, this jersey never seems to amaze me. As Cody Buchanan, Cole Richards, the clock is ticking down for Colette. That will still continue on if the car is down, aligned, ready to go. Kevin still needs to inspect it, make sure, you know, not throwing a track out there that's held together with, you know, bubble gum. It needs to be up to snuff, be up to spec, and make sure that it is safe.
Yeah, that's super important. So
obviously
we got
this fun. Cody Buchanan, Cole Richards are what was intended to be our last battle. We will see if Dimitri Brutzky will take a bye run, or if Colette will pull it up to the line, do battle. What kind of condition? TBD. But right now, it's Cole Richards and Cody Buchanan. Buchanan out front, Richards in the chase position. Like I said, Buchanan, as much fun as he has, he needs to bring it right now. And look at that. Ooh, he tries to surge an attack, but comes out of that first inside clip. This might be a situation of the temperatures dropping, the car gripping up. He goes to initiate, the track fights back, and just rips up, rips on in. Oh, he just barely passes the nose of Cole Richards. Cole allows him the way. Buchanan rotates. Didn't look like it. I think he might have escaped some contact, or no? Are those wheels going the opposite way?
No, they're going the same.
Are they Bambiing right now?
No, they're both fishing.
Okay, they're left. Sorry.
Yeah,
it was like doing Bambi on ice.
I think Buchanan got bit by the grip goblin here as the sun went down, you know, about a half hour ago or so, and you can just see him kind of struggling with that car, which is very unusual for Cody Buchanan. But Cole Richards, he's not bothered by this. He's sticking it to the door. Look at this, just scraping the vinyl, plastic off both of those bumpers with the Z and the 86. Sticks it to him in contact, pushes him across the finish line, and forces a spin out. So now the rule is...
No way.
Yes.
Look at that, 10 seconds left.
Yes, Wade.
Started the thing, no fender. No way. Look at that, 1 second left on the clock behind him in the back.
We got 9 seconds, Jared.
Yeah, you can see single digits. So he says eyeball the toe. 15 seconds, sorry, off in the distance. So Colette had her competition timeout called, so FD said, okay, clock starts now. So it was called by Formula Drift, and basically was also not at the, Brutzky was not at the line, and may have had his competition timeout called on him as well. So because we needed Brutzky on the line.
Despite, you know, having that great sportsmanship.
Yeah, we are. So there's some chatter here.
We'll get Kevin Wells in frame there, kind of discussing with the crew members.
Yep, and that is.
I hear applause. I don't see any faces of defeat.
Wow.
Excellent.
Wow. I mean, that is absolutely, the spirit is alive and well, and the hardworking.
Don't touch the
hardworking staff. So, and Kevin, right there in the Formula Drift shirt, staff, he is a competition director. He needs to clear all the vehicles, make sure, again, we have a team that obviously texts them. A lot of people applauding, cars pulling away, but we're trying to find out, is it able to run? So Lorette's texting us saying it's a go.
Awesome. So in the meantime, what's happening in the background here, we're still waiting for a result from Buchanan and Richards. You can see the judges deliberating here to kind of ascertain fault, or if Buchanan spun out over the finish line. So the rule is you got to complete that drift. You got to let the car unwind. You can't spin out after the line in your lead runner, even if you're in the chase. So I think that's what they're looking at. We haven't heard a word, but let's take a look at that replay as Buchanan does an awesome initiation. That's what I'm talking about. That grip goblin bit him, he came up short. Richards just taking the vinyl off that back, gripping the Z, sticking it to Buchanan through that outer zone 2. Buchanan kind of struggling, trying to probably clutch kick his way through that outer zone 2 as they go across the inner clip. gives that a boot. Kind of a weird transition there from Buchanan, and you can see 1, 2 across the line. Kind of, it seems cut and dry to me, but there's some deliberation that I may miss looking at that again, so we'll see what happens.
Cole was definitely being aggressive. Was Buchanan impeding? That's kind of the variable there. That's the scenarios. And I think we called it as far as temperature. The car's gripping up. Grip goblin, I like that. You got gremlins, you got goblins. You got it all. So this is
so we're getting
perspective here.
You can see Buchanan trying to fire off that Z as Cole Richards is just right there with him, doing a great job. You can see almost a tail light getting peeled off of that Z. 1, 2, into that door, just saying hello, goodbye.
All right, so we are hearing that it is not unanimous on who's at fault. So Cole Richards is at fault. He is, so they're saying Cole Richards is at fault, but that was not unanimous. They said it was split decision. But so Cole gets a competition, or he has to utilize his competition timeout. Hey, Reese, down to you, and Cody, he's allotted 10 minutes because Cole was at fault.
Sure. So I just want to make it clear, you know, Buchanan had a lot of errors in the lead.
Yeah.
So leading up to the very end, Buchanan was doing a really bad job in the lead, not putting on a good lead. The chase was really good by Cole. What me and Brian ended up seeing is that there was a hit and then another hit, rotated the car over the finish line, and that's where we ended up putting the blame on. Vernon saw that as Buchanan was coming into the finish line, he came off throttle and then started rotating on his own. He does see that there was a little bit of a hit, but he puts that on Buchanan. So 2 for Cole being the one who's at fault, and 1 for Buchanan.
All right. So again, not the prettiest lead run. That could play a role. Contact was made. So, and we are hearing that, unfortunately, Colette Davis, she did get the car together. So, sorry, bounce around here. Buchanan and Cole Richards, second, they're going to take a look at their vehicles respectively, and then taking a look at Colette Davis in the burnout box, tried to go fire it up, and unfortunately, what did you hear? What you were talking to Chris over there?
I didn't get much information, but it looks like it's maybe something failed in the rush of getting things together here when they're obviously stopped in the burnout box. So unfortunately, they're out of time, and they're gonna have to pull out of there.
All right, so alignment is out of whack. Have her test it. Went to the burnout box and it broke. So yeah, so that just with that. So as he said, it was folded, it was crinkled. Talk about the strut, the hat, it was punched off. Tried to throw it in there. Something, the integrity of the chassis might have just gone, just given how wrinkled it was.
Yeah, and if it's not where it's supposed to be, the geometry can be off, and then something's gonna have to bind or let loose here. So you can see what happened earlier during our top 16. That was a rough one.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Colette. Ooh. What's the upside of it? Could pull it, stretch it, and get it back out there for the next round.
Yeah, nothing a welder can't fix. They'll probably put on a whole new apron and strut tower, to be honest.
So, very unfortunate. So, but with her going, checking, see if she could do a burnout, it breaking, that means Dimitri Brutzky will have a bye run. So Brutzky will advance. Brutzky will take a bye run, advancing on, and will go against either Buchanan or Cole Richards. Never settle. BMW. Brutzky. It's a good opportunity for him to check grip level.
But having so much attrition here in this track, I think they probably have the data to know exactly where they need to put that car and adjustments at.
So Brutzky gets the victory, as does Grant Anderson. Grant Anderson, he likes that donut. Love a little smoke-filled donut. Who doesn't, Jeremy Bay? As Buchanan and Richards taking a look at their car. So 3 vehicles in the final 4. Colette Davis, hats off to the team. Good effort. But when we come back, we will see where Buchanan and Richards land. A short break, and we have 3 of the final 4. The final 4 which driver will be Buchanan or Richards when we come back here to E-Town.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
ECU, let's get it.
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Blink Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine, and then we're going to add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an F824 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's stock K24 or it's a 1,000 wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
Welcome back to the streets of Long Beach. Once again, here we are. Cars are staged, the flags are waving, the umbrellas are out, the track is hot, the wind is blowing, and the drivers are ready. He is Chris, the Force, Force! Force ring applying the pressure outside, go free! Make some noise for Northern California zone, the beast from the Bay, Matt Field! Do that first outside zone, that Corvette slides it. Oh! You know him, you love him, Mr. Adam LZ! Look at Adam LZ in his BMW.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
We're here with Rudy Hansen, O'Reilly Auto Part Random Part Challenge. Brother,
It's an alternator, like regulator, rectifier.
what? It is an ignition module switch from 2018 Subaru STI. But hey, way to commit though. I had no idea. So even guessing something, I was like, it's something electronic. I'm gonna take a page out of here in Manoa's book and just say, it's for a car.
This is kind of like some part of engine.
Keep killing it. Yeah. I'm here with my buddy Jonathan Castro, podium guy. Good job last round, brother.
Thank you.
Tell me what that is.
Oh my God. This is a connector for some sort of BDM.
This is a, what was it again? I don't even know what it is. I don't even know what it is either. They showed it to me and I'm just like...
Alright, you guys are doing an amazing job. Not even your guy knows about it. So this is good. I think I'm covering. I'm out of here. Goodbye.
Oh, I'm so bad at this. That's alright, me too. I had no idea what this was. So. Brother, what that is?
Since it's a challenge, I would say it's probably not what it is. But first of all, it looks like a fuse.
Okay, okay.
But a type of sensor could be. I've never seen anything like it, so my first guess is a sensor.
Close. It's a ignition control module.
Okay, yeah, I would never guess that.
I would never guess it either. I was wrong if it makes you feel any better. So.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Makes me feel a lot better. Hold on, he needs a Sharpie. Hold on, he needs a
Sharpie, we're actually working here, so I'm just distracting.
Ooh, let's see. Some sort of resistor?
For something. It's definitely for something. Oh, I didn't notice those. HLD and B and C. I don't know if that means anything to you, because it means nothing to me.
You know what? This is hard. I've watched the other ones, and I knew what those were.
Not a big wiring guy.
Not a huge wiring guy either, so.
Valiant effort, my friend. Thank you.
You learn something new every day.
Connor, what that is.
Holy God. Can I guess the car?
Sure.
Mini Cooper?
Sure. I'm gonna give him that as a win. Ignition control module.
Oh.
It's like impossible. Nobody, like, how would you know? How would you ever guess that? I'd never guess that. They're like, what is this? I'm like, I don't have a clue. It has electricity, that's all I know.
Just remember.
Well, I know Grant Anderson wouldn't know what that was, so we're gonna consult the Irishman. So, like Dylan said, what is that again? Okay, well, the action continues here, trying to find out Buchanan and Richards, what's going on there. The competition timeout, 10-minute allotment for Buchanan, 5-minute comp timeout for Cole Richards. Got a little craze, got a little bonkers, got a little nutty. So, 3 drivers are in the final 4. We're talking about Chen and Johnson. On the other side, we got Brutzky and going against Buchanan or Richards. What is status with Richards? And it has been a wild ride. Pretty clear cut until we got into the wall with Colette. Then things got a little zany.
Yeah, looking at this bracket here, Jerry's going to have to defeat Nate Chen if he wants to at least get 3rd place.
Yep.
Or even to just get the podium.
Yeah, the way we got it
seated here. Yeah.
Tell you what, yeah, you can see 2, 3, 11, and there they are. So this is Richards and Buchanan in the burnout box. What do you got?
Yeah, I was going to say they're in the same chassis too.
Yeah.
Maybe different power plants, different styles, but it's going to be a really good battle with Chen and Johnson. But we'll let these guys warm up GT radials and get to the start line and see what's going on.
Yep, these guys win a little bang bang, go nuts, and we will see if they can put it together. Buchanan, Richards, and here's the second half of this battle.
Correct.
Who was going against Brutzky, which is a tough one. He knows this track. So does Chen. Coincidence? I think not. You know, these guys come to the Gambler. They know this track. They know what to expect, and they do it a lot of time under the lights too.
Yeah, trending data. It's proven itself.
Yeah. Data don't lie. Cole Richards now up front. Cody Buchanan in the chase position. Let's see if Cole's going to run his line, similar to, as we said, Johnson ran his own game. There's Cole, big, massive swing thing into that first outside zone. Whips it and rips it into that second outside zone. Cole Richards using all the course, using the track. And Buchanan is keeping consistent line. Cole Richards punts that inside clip out of the way to the last zone. And Buchanan parks it in that last outside zone. And that's going to hurt him. That could have sealed his own fate there for Buchanan. Let's take a look at it again. Oh, you see the frustration already.
So maybe see the dark side of Buchanan here.
Right. Ah, just snaps.
As bright as that car is, you might see something flying out of the cockpit. But here we go. I really like the initiation here by Richards, and Buchanan right there with him. Does a great job of getting that transition going and tucking it into the pocket of that outer zone too. Richards looking smooth in that almost all black 86 as they finish outer zone 2, rip around there, a little too close into that inner clip there. We want to see him in that box, and then Cody Buchanan just overcooked it there on that transition. Did he run out of tire? It's kind of been a trending thing here tonight as we get into these whittle these battles down as the tire wear and the wheel speeds get greater and the drivers keep pushing harder and harder. And right at the end, we're seeing a little more mistakes there at that last corner where the tires were just at their last widths. See a little handbrake. I think he just a matter of over-rotating it, getting a little too aggressive, and that's all she wrote for Buchanan on that particular instance. So now they're sitting, waiting for the results here.
I think we know the outcome, but let's make it official here. These guys and gals cheering on Adam LZ. They're part of the crew. Or they just buy, I think they're just fans. Yeah, they're wearing the uniforms, the jerseys. Here we go, slide him left for Buchanan or right for Cole Richards gets the win. Cole Richards takes the win. He will be going against Brutzky in the final 4. So, our 4 is set officially. Chen versus Johnson, Brutzky versus Richards. They will make their way past the burnout box, and looks like I can see them. How we doing out there, New Jersey? See yourself up there on the big screen. And Chen and Johnson, Brutzky and Richards. Final 4 is set.
Man, can you imagine Johnson, freshman year, taking E-Town to the podium?
Dude,
Woo.
Huge. And these are our live standings. Taking a look at some of the jumps here. With every victory, 10 points. Brutzky, again, this is live. This is at the juncture we're at right now. So Brutzky will assume the lead over Taska. Buchanan knocked out, so he'll hold at 5. But Johnson, look at that. If he advances on, he jumps up considerably. And again, look at Cole. He's sitting there quietly in 6, but everybody else is knocked out with 2 rounds left of the Link Engine Management. Look at Amanda and Cam, 22, 20 points. So, again, with the introduction of the new point allotment, I like it because a win gets you points. Every win, every battle gets you points overall.
And even in seeding, you can see that little difference when Cameron had that seeding win. Put him 2 points over his sister.
Nate Chen, Jerry Johnson, VA versus Utah.
Toyota.
Yep. Oh, man, this should be fun.
Yes.
2 very different schools of thought. Nate Chen knows the track. Johnson, a FD rookie, good energy. His wife is spotter in his ear. Having a lot of fun, and if he can harness that fun energy and keep it going, and a cone is hit by Chen. That is a restart.
What'd that cone do to you, Nate?
Yeah. Show me on the doll where they hurt you, Chen. And the Cats are cheering for Cat Daddy.
Cat's out of the bag.
Cat is out of the chicane. What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. As Jerry Johnson makes his way back to the line. And Nate Chen, Chen at a Chen. Pulling back up.
Let's do this again without the oops.
Stack them, track them, re-rack them. No slacking. Chen will lead, NCR. And there is Johnson, Max, making sure they're ready. Restart them, lights are on, once they extinguish. Clear to send. Come on down. Who's going to the finals, Chen or Johnson? Chen out front. Nope, no cone hit, we got a clean start. Little tap in the brakes there by Chen, initiates in his first outside zone, uses all the course. Johnson drops into formation, gets buried in smoke, but he digs his way out of it to the second outside zone. Chen just on the edge of the track. Johnson really confident in that chase position. Transitions a little bashing, thrashing, and smashing in that last outside zone. Some firing of the exhaust across the finish line. So some shrapnel growing. Again, Jerry Johnson, big cat guy. He's got a tail running up Chen.
Yeah, he's got the advantage here with fresh tires in the chase, and I think that came to play here. Great job with Chen. That's exactly what we need to do. Initiated fast and hard through that outer zone 1, but Jerry Johnson sticking it right to him in the outer zone 2. Wanted to see a little more angle out of Chen. I feel like a little bit of wavering, but Johnson's right there in that 97 and in his 86. Look at this transition. Just didn't quite impede. I'm not sure how that's going to relate to the judgment, but Chen, you don't care. Shoved it in there in the outer zone 3, and Johnson's sticking it right there with him.
Yeah, I liked that Chen kept it consistent. Wasn't too big of a factor. And
yeah.
You did see some disruption of both the vehicles there, but pin it to win it. Chen stayed in it. So now Johnson out front. He gets the clean air. And, you know, given that Johnson is a rookie, these guys probably haven't driven against each other.
Right.
And that variable could very well come into play for Chen. What to expect. Hopefully his spotter's in his ear telling him this is what I would expect. And I'm telling, you know, if I'm Chen's spotter, go for it. I think Johnson is a full throttle kind of guy. You know, as far as I just feel like he's a golly gee. Yeah. Let's do that. Hammer down, dance. Zip tie that gas pedal, and go for it. Just every interaction I've had with him so far just seems like, yeah, bud, I got this. You know,
I just
hold my Capri Sun. I'm doing this thing.
If we had an award for best initiation, I'm giving it to Jerry Johnson. Like he's been just.
Well, you called it last time. This is what he needs to do, and he did just that.
And he's got to do it again. And just rinse and repeat, as you like to say.
Rookie year, Johnson. Can he get on the box? If he wins, he's guaranteed that. Johnson, big initiation from Johnson to that first outside zone. A little bit of a hesitation there going to the second outside zone. I want to see that true steer. I want to get that overhead view of Johnson in the lead. Good angle from him, maxing out the angle into that inside clip and that last outside zone. Here goes Johnson, Chen in tow. Like I said, just very straightforward.
Yes.
No tomfoolery, nothing crazy. You know, you saw the excel, you know, the momentum area, so immediately the judge is requesting a BC Racing side-by-side instant replay.
Yeah, just off the shoot from the hip here, you can kind of see it was as awesome as initiation it was almost backwards, still chaseable obviously, but it did kind of force him to come up short out of outer zone 1 and didn't set him up very pretty for 2. That might be the crux of our situation here, as Chen is still sticking through the whole way as he get into outer zone 3. Chen still trying to knock on his door, just couldn't quite close that gap, I think, as much as he wanted to, but with that little deficit in that outer zone 1, that might be the difference here.
Was Chen phased? Did he have to back off?
No.
Because it seemed like he was, I want to look at that again.
Yeah, leading up to it, he looked like he had, unfortunately, had his car in the right position where he could dive in despite, you know, the decel of the initiation. So he's back there, car slows down, he puts the car right where he needs to. It still kind of looked goofy, but I don't think the judges are going to put that on Chen. The lead car was not in the position it needed to be.
Talking about Johnson.
Correct.
Yeah, on that transition from 1 to 2,
the car wasn't rotated at the angle where it needed to be, and where Chen had it, it kind of, it just, a lot of things going on, a lot to unwrap. They both stuck with it, which is the
well, here we go. Here's the verdict. Slide left for Chen or right for Jerry Johnson, and Chen gets the win. Chen advances to the finals. And hey, Reese, we got a moment here. We got a quick beat. We'll love to talk to you on behalf. It was unanimous. Johnson, fun having, good dude. That are we crazy that transition from Johnson 1 to 2?
Yeah, it was a little shaky there. I mean, Johnson came in outside zone 1, didn't really set himself up correctly, came out a little bit early, messed up the trajectory that Nate Chen was using to get into outside zone 1. Of course, Nate's thinking he's going to fill out the whole zone, had to come out early, messed up his transition, got a little wobbly going into outside zone 2, and because of that, we put that on Jerry for having that situation.
Yeah. And how about Chen's lead run?
Chen's lead run was really good.
Okay.
Substantially better than Jerry on this one.
Hence really solidifying it out of the first run.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, hats off to Jerry Johnson. Love his energy, love his driving. He made it this far, but does that, 21st. So, yeah, unfortunately, he's going to be just outside a podium spot.
He should be proud.
Just outside a podium spot. So 4th place for Jerry Johnson. A great effort there. But Nate Chen edges him out. Right now, it's Brutzky versus Cole Richards.
This one should be pretty good. I feel like Brutzky has a little more calculated on this course than Richards. I feel like he's a little more of a risk taker than
Brutzky's going to be a surgeon. Richards is going to be a little more that kind of Jerry Johnson energy. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So again, Black 86s, why not? Here we go, the BMW of Dmitry Brutzky out front. He knows this track. And again, coincidence? I don't think so. Chen is in the finals, is going to be Brutzky. And Cole Richards, good angle from him. He is in that second outside zone now, coming through that inside clip, both of them. Again, that right headlight looks like it takes out that inside clip. Cole Richards, ooh, gets a little wobbly, gets it, finds some landscaping there. Cole Richards goes off course. And you got to think, Cole Richards did use his competition timeout on that last battle. Right. So he does not have a comp timeout. Yeah, Nate Chen throwing on the lid.
Yeah, hopefully it had been a tie rod or something, doing a little mowing there. So you can see straight up initiation, exactly what we expected from Brutzky, and Richards putting on the pressure here. I thought he was going to kind of close the gap here, but just couldn't quite do it as they finished through outer zone 2. Richards kind of cut the line there a little bit. Brutzky a little offline. I feel like he was a little too deep in inner clip 1 and set himself up for outer zone 3 as well. And Richards just kind of seemed like he wasn't as comfortable in that chase position, trying to chase down our former champion, Dmitry Brutzky. So let's see what Cole Richards can do with some clean air and what Dmitry can do with the chase. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's extinguish those lights. Who's going against Nate Chen in the finals? Is Cole Richards going to rise to the occasion? Dimitri Brutzky, like I said, he is a veteran of this course. Here goes Cole Richards. Slams into that first outside zone. The black shadow lingering. And now into that second outside zone. Brutzky now finds himself in there. He tucks it nicely, but he was a little late comer. He RSVP'd, but didn't show up for the party till later. Nice, fashionably late, and look at Brutzky puts it around Cole Richards. So Brutzky aggressive in the chase position. Was Cole Richards kind of holding him up?
I don't know. But
Truth serum. Look at Chen looking on. Chen looking on. Who's he going against? What's analyzing, judging, watching. Look at the baby. Look at the baby. Bang that door.
It was definitely done in hour zone 3 here. Again, Cole Richards did the initiation that I wanted to see, and he filled out hour zone 2 really good. And Brutzky playing the game of catch up. He does close that door, but Richards throws some more angle on it. He hit that clip though, so that's a little off on the line here. But Brutzky, he got in front of that pocket where he wanted to see him, and it kind of disrupted after the contact. So that transition, he just had it timed just a little bit too early. As we take another look at it here, Richards shoves that car in outer zone 2. Again, he kind of did the same thing as he did in outer zone 3, Brutzky in the chase, as he just timed it a little too early, had to pull angle out of it, sacrifice a little bit of the line. Richards, that's the only big mistake I feel like he had in the lead, was taking out that clip. So he was a little on the inside, kind of doing a beeline, where Brutzky timed that a little bad, got in front of the car, made contact. I feel like that was on him independently.
I think Brutzky might have gotten a little eager there.
Yeah, which is...
I mean, because Excel lights green. They were all green,
right?
Notably on Cole Richards. So taking a look at that, Excel was on. Didn't seem like decel or brake lights. So let's take a look at the VC Racing side by side.
Yeah, and you can see the difference in the style here. Brutzky does a little flick, but I feel like Cole had a much more aggressive initiation. Both doing a great job here. Cole, he anticipated that transition a little better than Brutzky here, but he does trail off, where Brutzky does the opposite. He reels him back in. Cole putting a little more angle in the car. They both. Cole also taking it out on this chase as far as the inner clip goes, but you can see the difference here in Brutzky's kind of just all over the place after that tiny mistake in that chase position in the outer zone 3. So, it's a tough one either way, but I feel like the mistakes were just more prevalent in the Brutzky camp in that chase position in outer zone 3. Just mistimed it just enough to put him in the pocket too deep.
So Brutzky looking on Cole Richards, sitting there, and Nate Chen waits, guaranteed a podium. Actually, these guys are as well.
Yeah.
All these guys are. So the loser will automatically get third. The winner going to the finals, going against Nate Chen. This is so good for Nate Chen. Just progression, where he's at, the driving, the capability, all the potential. He's living up to it.
Yeah.
This has been a long time coming for Nate Chen, and now here he is going for his, I believe, his first ever win. We're running the stats right now, pulling it up, and gonna take a look. Just want to make sure, we give respect where respect is due, and I'm sure Lorette will have some words with him. He's looking on, so excited to see what goes on. Let's see what happens here as it unfolds. Brutzky or Richards, again, the loser locked in for third, the winner going against Chen in the finals. Are we going either driver, or is it going a one more time? Looks like all of them. And this, I believe, would be Chen's first ever podium, and it is at minimum.
At minimum, that.
Yeah, first ever podium for him. Slide him left for Brutzky, right for Cole Richards. One more time. Cole Richards and Cole Richards gets the win, going for the podium, he's on the podium, going for the win. So Brutzky guaranteed third, and wow, so Nate Chen going his first ever Lorette, I mean, the smile says it all, but here he is, not only his first podium, but going for a win.
That's it, exactly. So last year he finished his best ever with a 4th. So he is now on the podium. Nate Chen, but you are looking for that win. What do you attribute your progression to?
I have a huge thanks to Dart and Nitrous Express and Wiseco for having a new engine for this round. It's 440 CI, naturally aspirated with nitrous. It's definitely better than the blower motor we've used for the past few years, but Englishtown means so much to me, Lorette. This was the place where I got my first media pass when I was 15 years old. First place I won a 4-round championship at the Gambler, and the Naps are just the best track owners that I've ever encountered. I love it here. I can't wait to party with the GT Radial and Jerry Yang Racing Team after the finals, no matter what, and I'm just super pumped. This has been a lifetime of building to this and dedicating my life, making a lot of life decisions and sacrifices around this, so it means so much to me to be here.
Yeah, it's obvious, and I don't want to poke the bear because I can feel the emotion and how important this is to you, and you need to focus at the job at hand. Cole Richards, what are your thoughts about battling him?
Hey, we're both in NA V8s with FRSs. I think it's going to be a really close battle, so I just can't wait to put down everything I have and leave nothing on the table.
Best of luck.
Well said. Thank you, Lorette. Some great insight there. Nate Chen talked about it. Cole Richards, he's got the win here before in 2023, so he knows what he's capable of. Cole Richards, a talented driver. Nate Chen, you could feel the raw emotion, and it's come down to Nate Chen, Cole Richards. Brutzky will be rounding out the podium. Jerry Johnson just a bit outside on his freshman year. What a crazy event at the Crazy 8. When we come back here at E-Town, we will find out who is top of the box here at round 2 of the Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. This is the gauntlet. When we come back, the finals here at E-Town.
ECU, let's get it.
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Blink Monsoon is so rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine, and then we're going to add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an F824 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000-wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
These are my race treads for going the distance.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Welcome to Taco Bell. What can I get started for you?
I'd like a 10-piece crispy chicken nuggets, please, and a Rockstar Energy Refresca.
Pull ahead to the pickup window and try not to leave a trail this time.
Nice drifting, Freddie. Enjoy your Rockstar Energy Refresca.
Thank you.
The finals are upon us. Cole Richards, again, gets the victory. Just talking to Mr. Knapp here, Chris Knapp. He says that Cole Richards' first vehicle was bought underneath this building. Was a 1J, 2J BMW? 2J BMW underneath the tower here. And now here he is. Loved what Chen said. He says, look, we're both in FRS's 86 BRZ, that chassis, same one, NA nitrous. Excited to see what they could do, and here it is. Nate Chen, first ever podium. Will it be a win? Cole Richards did get the win a couple years ago. Osoli won last year, but now it's Richards or Chen.
And both of these guys, you know, it wasn't no cakewalk to get to this position. They had a lot of good contenders to get to the finals here. We got Richards had to took out Brutzky,
right, and
Trevor Root. I mean, Chen had to take out Sorenson, Johnson. Like, these guys just aren't, you know, pushovers by any means.
PROSPEC has been very, very exciting as it is unfolding. And Cole Richards, you can see Elton, the Coro Works logo there on the side. Let's see it. Let's see if the kid's got it again. Will he get back on top? There's Brutzky. So real-time standings with this victory. So Brutzky will still hold on to the lead even with this victory because, again, with the win, one of those drivers will jump up and tie Taska for second, and one will just
be tied for third then with Buchanan.
Yep.
So, yeah, a lot of mix-up here. Like we say, the PROSPEC rounds are weighted so much more heavier since we only have 4 of them, and every point counts.
All right. Yeah, the top 3 get the choice to advance to pro at the end of the season. Hey, thanks for coming out. Love you, appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us out here. A beautiful evening here at E-Town. Appreciate you. Thank you, Matt Sopa, for all that you do, both here in the booth and down on the ground. You and your peers, track staff, they worked hard today.
Well, they should. I mean, every time we're out here, they always give it all. They're all
every round.
Round you're on?
And every round.
Oh, yeah.
And every round. I appreciate it. So, again, thank you to the E-Town staff. Nate Chen said it best, you know, Knapp family, and E-Town in itself. A great venue. So, again, thank you to Matt. Thank you to Lorette Nickel for some great insight here. Thank you to all the drivers, staff, crew, team. The camaraderie just was wildly apparent this round of competition. Last night with Jeff Jones and the pro, all those peers coming together, and then most recently Colette Davis
with
Brutzky and his team working on it. We saw multiple team crew shirts over there, not just the Fitment Industries Colette Davis team.
It should be noted, like Brutzky, he may or may not even had a risk of having his own 5-minute call because he was going to be late to his own party battling against Colette. So it's just that sportsmanship is really, really commendable.
You love to see it. You love to see it. So, again, Jacob Gens and myself will be calling the action tomorrow with Pro Round 4. Excited for that. So be sure to join us here. But right now, it's PROSPEC Finals. Let's send it. Nate Chen, Cole Richards. The finals are here. Which 86 FRS is going to get the victory? Nate Chen, his first ever FD podium. Can Cole Richards do it again like he did in 23? Nate Chen almost exceeding the outside zone. Cole Richards drops into formation here. Nate Chen, the NC Amoroso vehicle. Now in that second outside zone. Cole Richards, definitely good proximity. Want to see that overhead view. Make sure he is mimicking. Look at that, almost identical, simultaneously transitioning into that last outside zone. Nate hits it and quits it. Cole Richards tucks in like a shadow in the night. And there it is, our first run with Nate Chen leading Cole Richards in tow.
Man, you could barely tell where Richards was if it wasn't for those Type S momentum lights. Yeah, but look at Chen there. He did stay in the zone, no tires off at that point or any point in his lead run, as Richards is right there with him in the outer zone too. Both 86s just giving their all. It's great to see kind of two chassis, 2 different drivers, and just really being able to kind of showcase themselves in just the driving manner, since the chassis are so similar. I'm not sure what they have under the suspension-wise, but I think that's a really cool thing to note there as we give Cole Richards now the clean air in that dark night of that 86, and then we got the Hot Wheel-esque Nate Chen giving chase.
Okay, now here it is. Cole Richards will lead. Nate Chen chasing him down. Here is Cole. Let's see what goes down. Looks like Max getting the track prepped. The smoke lingering quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that's what he was kind of waiting for.
Yeah. And Cole Richards, he's got one headlight. And let's see. And here we go. Who's going to get it? We got a clean start. No restart. Cole Richards out front. Initiates. First outside zone. A lot cleaner, tidier. We saw that good aggressive line in that second outside zone. Right in the course edge. Look at Nate Chen tucked in. Come on. Give him a glass of warm milk. 99. What do you got? Into that last outside zone. There goes Cole Richards. Nate Chen. Boy, and brings it across the finish line. A tight battle. This is what we expected. Do we have a victor? Do we have a winner? Definitely going to get that side by side, I have to assume. But no? No? Wow, look at these guys. They looked at me like I was crazy.
I would have lost that bet, Jagger.
Yeah.
Let's take another look from our eye in the sky here as they get into formation with that one very similar. Look at that mimic from Nate Chen as he rolls into outer zone 2, putting on the pressure. He does sacrifice, I feel like, more angle in that chase position versus Cole. Was able to kind of mimic the angle and keep that same proximity, but Chen keeping the pressure on, gets a little away from him in the outer zone 3, and again sacrificing that angle. I think that's the only little difference I can pick out of these runs is Nate was kind of sacrificing that just to gain that proximity, but he also stayed in the pocket well as usually. Sometimes these guys will pull angle and like get in front of the pocket in that chase position, but Richards smooth as butter as they do that nice transition. Chen charging forward as they get through outer zone 3 and finish it off. So will we have a winner? It's going to be splitting hairs here. This is probably the one to scrutinize. Like there's got to be, it's down to the nitty-gritty details as far as.
Guess what? No replay, and it's unanimous.
Well,
so just like that, I mean, just the confidence in their corner. So we'll bring them down, but Brutzky will get third place. The winner announced now. We have a winner here. Again, if you're in the building, join us at the podium trophy ceremony. Regardless, Nate Chen gets his first podium. Is it Cole Richards? Does he do it again like he did in 2023, a couple years ago? Celebratory donuts. Nate, the smile said it all. He's having a lot of fun. He's letting loose. Cole Richards, you know, CoreWorks still in the car, but again, looking for that title sponsorship. As again, these ProSpec drivers, some choosing to make the jump to pro, some, you know, manageable 4 rounds as opposed to 8. You know, just overall, it's really great. Thank you to our judges, Reese Marin, Brian Eggert, and Vernon Vonveld. We'll see you down at the podium, and of course, we will see you tomorrow. But thank you to our judges. Thank you to our staff. Thank you again, Matt, for all that you do. Your thoughts on this event?
Boy, just go back to Nate Chen. I feel like he's a big program guy, numbers guy, right? He's gotten that program dialed in. Now I feel like he's finally getting into that, not quite his final form as a driver, but maybe even his personality just kind of is blossoming, and we're really starting to see that in his driving. And Cole Richards here, you know, he's been a contender the past few years here. Brutzky, you know, it's no surprise to see these guys on the podium. So, yeah, I'm excited to see this decision here.
Well, there's Brutzky shaking the hand of Cole Richards. He just took him out to make it into the finals. The drivers stepping outside of their vehicles. We have the verdict, and we will announce it. A lot of the teams making their way towards center course at the center of the figure 8. Stepping outside, let him take a breath. Cole and Chen. You guys, all right, without further ado, here are your top 3 here at round 2 of the Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. Finishing third place, Dmitry Brutzky. His family, his friends, his son, his spotter in his ear, and now your winner at round 2 of the Formula Drift Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship. As Nate Chen said, both them naturally aspirated, nitrous, 86, FRS, BRZ, regardless of the chassis, your winner unanimously here at E-Town is Cole Richards. Gets the win. Cole Richards gets the win. Nate Chen, his first Formula Drift podium, second place. Congratulations to Cole Richards getting the win. Congratulations to him. Nate Chen gets second place, and Dmitry Brutzky there in third. Cole Richards very stoic here with the victory. High fives, hugs, and handshakes all around. As we could see Lorette Nickel down there. Lorette, Cole did this in 2023. Here he is atop of the box. You know, the emotion not exuding out of him, but you'd love to see him just let it go. Congratulations to Cole Richards, your winner here at round 2. Down to you, Lorette.
Well, Cole jumped out of his car and said, it's been a while, and he just took in the whole sights before you announced him as the winner. And so stoic right now. What are you processing?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very long time since we've been back in a podium setting, so it's really nice to be back. I mean, the car is everything I have ever wanted, and it just works. We had some issues earlier today, but the team just fixed everything, got it prepped, got it ready. She was coacher the whole top 32, even though we had issues in every single practice we had, but she did the thing.
Wow. So even with issues through every single session that you had, you still buckled down and you did it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team effort. I'm just driving the car. I have the easy part. It's the crew guys that, where are they? Those guys are just fucking animals. They have been under this car every single practice session for almost 45 minutes to an hour each time, trying to fix, have new ideas. They fixed the car, it did the thing. And I couldn't have done them without any of them here.
Incredible. Well, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner round number 2, Cole Richards.
Cole Richards, the biggest emotion there, which I really appreciate, is they're awesome. They're bleeping awesome. They're animals. And that, I think, is a testimonial, too, knowing that he can't do it himself. He says, right. I have the quote-unquote easy part. I beg to differ, but it's not just about me, it's about we. And I think that's the biggest attribute that Cole Richards has. It is unanimous. Congratulations to him. You know, all things considered, congratulations to Nate Chen. His first FD podium, second place. He's been working for this, a lifetime of work. Brutzky, third place. Overall, good event.
Very good.
Some craziness, camaraderie, and it's about team. It's about the we, not me.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've seen with the Colette crash and everyone all hands on deck with that situation. We've seen the Shelley situation flipping. We've seen too many cars not keeping the rubber on the asphalt. But very entertaining weekend here with PROSPEC. It's definitely what we expected here. A lot of heavy hitters, a lot of sleeper cells, but entertaining nonetheless. I'm really, really proud of these guys and what they're giving us.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again, Matt. Thank you to all the fans for tuning in. We'll be back here 2:30 tomorrow. No dentist appointment. No 2:30. Not me. You're going to be down there on the line. Jacob Gettens will be up here. Lorette Nickel getting all the dirt down in the pits. Thank you so much. Congratulations to Cole Richards, Nate Chen, Brutzky, and all the competitors, all the team, all the staff. Again, it bears repeating. Thank you so much to our judges, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for round 4 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. That's the one, the only, the gauntlet. This is E-Town. We'll see you online, or we'll see you another time. We'll send it tomorrow, Formula Drift Nation.
See on the mic, we some monsters, chupacabras off the booze and ganja, we stupid. We on tail, so excuse the passion. Plus, we ill for real, we can use a doctor. Hey, somebody gon' text the ER, please. Who you know catching wreck like we are? We've been rhyming since Manny was big timing, but them labels ain't signing, so fuck it, I'm lift driving. Let's get money on the side, got a show in LA, going dirty on the fly, let's ride sideways, that the CHP. In the whip, getting lit, bumping EA ski. It's me from the West Coast on till on the West Coast. Oh, you know this for the West Coast on till on the West Coast. Oh, you know we from the West Coast on till on the West Coast. Oh, you know this for the West Coast on till on the West Coast.
I kicks it in the West, you know where I rest.